Yesterday we missed this match. I picked something else because obviously I didn't expect it to go this way. I thought Wild would win. Because we actually watched Teskad in the match before against Team Trash, and they weren't amazing. So that was a huge surprise. Let's see if it's gonna be different today. And yesterday it was Stoofts who played much better than Wizzy. It's Wizzy who needs to step up. But now it's Stoofts and Jaja both with mistakes very early on. And it's still fine, they can catch up. It's less than 0.4. There goes Wizzy. He had so many issues there in that box slide turn. That looks good now. Stoof just drops even more. Right now, Teskad with a strong start. Jaja is catching up to Wizzy. Trying to get the second place and get the ace. Oh, Wizzy too tight, loses everything. Goes down to last even. And it's red alarm for Wild early on. Someone needs to be the hero here and get second, but Stoofts completely mistimes the release. Allows both Area and Jaja to pull away even further, and now the gap is even bigger. There's no way to catch up anymore unless they make mistakes. Or pretty much just crash into the wall here. But that looks good. And they will make it. Ace for Teskad straight away. Strong start. Wizzy again, can't even finish. Directly had to go around. It looks like more of the same from yesterday then. A nice start by Jaja. Looking very strong. Then Stoofts overtakes for first. It's Area in last now, but it's still super close. Going into the box slide. Good setup by everyone, but Wizzy once again loses the third place he had. Gains it back though. Pretty good pace. As Jaja has somehow separated himself from the rest of the pack. And this is looking very good for Teskad. Already have a 3-point lead. They just wanna keep it like that. So a draw definitely goes into their favor. A Stoofts strong NASCAR section overtakes and Jaja drops down to third. Can Wild strike back immediately? That's a great box slide there by Area, who is Teskad's best hope right now. Stoofts is way too far ahead, but Wizzy has had some troubles with the finish. Goes very wide as well. Area is coming closer. Wizzy goes wide, but makes it barely. Strong time by Stoofts. Any 110 here is very good and very hard to play against. So Wild immediately back in business. They seem to have slightly slower starts. Maybe they're just concerned about crashing there early on. So far, pretty good level. No crashes really. I think Wizzy just had to risk in round one. But again, it's Wizzy dropping further behind there in that box slide. Very slow round compared to the previous one, as Wizzy keeps losing more and more. Onto the plastic banana block. Looks even better for Teskad now. Will we see another ace here? It's all most likely gonna be decided in this box slide. Who can get the most exit speed? Oh, Wizzy isn't getting anywhere with that, so Stoofts is their best chance. Area way too far ahead. Can Stoofts maybe catch Jaja here? He is trying, but just can't do it. That's another ace. 6-3 Teskad. Now keep in mind that Teskad did beat Wild yesterday, so it's not that crazy. And there goes Wizzy. With less speed it's even harder to drift there, but at least he gets one. And Area is still in first. Last time they immediately gave up the counter race. Oh, and now Stoofts makes that Wizzy mistake. And he is in last, and this is really good for Teskad. Especially because this Wild's carry player who's completely in the mud. It's much easier to beat Wizzy these days than it is to beat Stufts. So area looks pretty safe in that first place. The only thing that can go wrong at this point is the box slide. And the gaps are pretty big. So nobody can really overtake here. Unless that happens to Wizzy, and all of a sudden it could be 9-3. Because Wizzy has thrown once again, so it is up to Stufts, who is trying his best, but just cannot catch Jaja here, and that is 9-3 on Teska's map pick indeed. And the times are just not good. This is over a second slower than what the likes of Epos and Binks are showing here. So Wild are just nowhere near their peak level. And now they got an ace twice in a row, otherwise it's over. So they're pretty much one slightly bigger mistake away from losing map 1. And so far, so good. Still, Wizzy is in the mix. Stufts is already leading. But Wizzy then with a mistake. Another mistake by Wizzy, and it should be over now. Doesn't really matter what Stufts does. Because Wizzy then drops the gear, he loses even more. He's now around 1 second behind area. How does he catch this? That's another mistake. He has no speed whatsoever. He crashes again. Luckily for him, that's a plastic block. Into the box slide. That is a terrible box slide. No exit speed whatsoever. And unless both of these crash into the wall right before the finish or somehow miss the finish, it's over. That looks good. That's 1-0 Teska. Great time by Stufts, but it doesn't matter. Wild are random. I don't know if Rosenborg is random or just really bad. But Wild just have such random results. Wizzy, Arsenal fan confirmed. Nah, come on, we just keep getting second. That's not the same. This is a bit of a lower level than second. I think Wizzy would be very happy if he kept getting second here. Well, this is Wild's first pick. Let's see if Wizzy can do better here, because Stufts is not the problem in the slightest. Wizzy doesn't like football. Yeah, I know. He's just messing around. Well, let's see. Map 3 will be Limbo. Also picked by Wild. But can they first equalize the score? Oh, area. Huge mistake. And a chance for Wild. Wizzy with a good start, finally. Yeah, looks good. Wizzy even in first. It's only Jaja really who can prevent the ace here. And Stufts stumbles. Oh, double respawn. And all of a sudden it's area in second. The troubles continue for Wizzy. And that's an ace thrown away. And once again, the gaps are massive. There are no fights. Everyone just has to finish the job here. I think it's actually Jaja and Wizzy who are the closest to each other. But nothing is really changing. It's only Area who's lost a bit. Let's see. Stufts makes it. Area makes it. Now Wizzy and Jaja both make it. So no changes later on. But massive mistakes everywhere. Victory. Nah, he doesn't support Spurs. Luckily. But at least the Wild got that 1 point advantage. How do you even end up there? Well, that was very impressive. So Stufts is completely out of this one. So it's up to Wizzy. And so far, he has not been having a good time. This is a huge round for him. And this would be huge for his mental as well. If he can win this, it will be a massive confidence boost for the other rounds. There's a mistake by Jaja. Goes into Wizzy's favor. Jaja with a respawn should still be ahead of Stufts. Area trying to attack. Overtakes Wizzy in the ice slide. The wheel is not wheeling there. But then a better turn by Wizzy, who has more speed here. Area crashes, and Wizzy will actually take it and defends the 1-point lead. The Spurs are a joke. Let's not lie, please. That's just how it is. You gotta accept it. Well, 3-2 wild. That's a very nice turn by Jaja. Area going a bit tighter. We'll drop down to last. Oh, Jaja with a terrible mistake has to respawn. And Tesca don't look good on Ascension at all. So it feels like Wild have to win this. Again, good jumps by both. And Area is in a position where he has to deny. Many releases there will lose even more. Seems like this was a very good pick by Wild. They're both pulling away. Ace is looking good, but then Wizzy makes a mess of that. Allows Area into second. Can Area just make the jumps? Yes, he does. That's very clean and good enough. Well, a loss is much better than getting aced, so they're gonna be happy with that. The league isn't real. The Europa League is not real. It should be removed from official tournaments so that the trophy doesn't count. Well, 5-3 Wild, but this can all still turn around with just one ace. Well, not like that. Oh, makes it at least. Doesn't have to respawn, but he's 1 second behind. And once again, it feels like this is Tescad's worst map by far. Although they did not look good on Limbo yesterday either. It feels like both of Wild's picks are not only good for Wild, but also very bad for Tescad. So we could see the score completely flip. And Wild looks so much better here than on Ellipse. And looking good for Stufts. As I say that, he crashes, but Area has also made a mistake. And this should be good enough for Wild, both with good exits, no jumps. And they survive it. A3, great position to be in. And it's not that Wild have been incredible here. Just Tescad are making so many mistakes. And here's another one. I mean, if you play like this, you cannot win. They just gotta refocus for the next map. Here, they're doomed. Jaja is also behind. It's complete domination by Wild here. Well, of course, as I say that, it's Wizzy with the crash, so we will most likely get another round here. I mean, the worst thing they can do is give away an ace now. Right after building a 5-point lead. Can Stufts get it done? So far, so good. Has a very nice lead. Wizzy is completely dead. Looks good. That's good. That's a good enough exit. Because he had the gap. He just needed to avoid crashing. A little bump there. And that will be enough. I mean, in that case, the exit is good enough. If it was closer, then there would have been complete mud. So 108, enough to win. And now Stufts can win on his own. Just needs a top 2 placement. Tescat need 2 aces. We're either gonna have one more round, as in this one, or this one and one more. Great start by Stufts. It's Wizzy in last. And Tescat need an ace. Oh, Wizzy is out yet again, and Stufts has made a mistake. There is no way this is happening again. Every single time Wild are on check point, Stufts completely falls apart. And Wizzy is struggling anyway. This is not looking good. He has the pace, I would say, to catch up. It's around 0.27 right now, and he is catching. He's coming closer, and now he's fully caught up. He needs to catch just one. There he goes, from third almost into first. All in the exit, that is amazing. Perfect exit for Stufts. He gets it, doesn't crash, perfect landing, and he gets it. What a comeback. He almost threw it. I mean, they had such a big lead. But that was a very clean driving. Like, after he failed, it was pretty much the perfect run. I didn't see any mistakes. Everything super clean. Kept all the gears. Perfect ice exit. Perfect jump later. Yeah, Stufts... It's kind of a 1v2. I don't know what's happened to Wizzy the last 2 tournaments. Doesn't look like himself at all. Well, 1-1, and this is the ultimate cinema map. So anything can happen here. This is the map where yesterday Tescat played against Trash, and they were getting aces with 120 times. They're gonna have to step it up a little bit here. What is Jaja doing? Somehow he gets a late start, that's very impressive. At least makes the jump. There's the crash. And that was Stufts. That's really bad for Wild, but then Area with an even bigger mistake. Can he even make the jump here? No, full mud. And this is a bad map for Tescat, as I said. So maybe they're gonna have to win the other 2 then. There's another mistake for Stufts, and so far this has been a mess. It's actually Wizzy who is doing the best by far. But we are coming up to the deadliest part of the map. Oh, Jasha misses the reactor. Full mud. It's over. That's an ace. It's like he got confused. Didn't even know whether he should continue or go back to get the reactor. The correct decision is to get the reactor, by the way. Wizzy with a full stop, but the gap is simply too big, I think. Go safe. Area has to go for the jump. Cancel the rotation. That's not a good idea. And that's an ace. Slow round again. But Tescat is struggling too much here. He can't win with 115s and 120s against Wild. So that's 3-0. A good start. Let's see if they can just avoid those early mistakes. That's what really buried Area last round. Was the mistake here. Looks good this time. And it's Wizzy in last. Oh, nice turns. Pretty good pace this round. Everyone handling the NASCAR pretty well. Wizzy struggling a little bit with the drift. Will continue to lose time. But we know that the turnaround is the key part here. Let's see, Wizzy, very nice. From last to second. Stufts is already so far ahead that he can fully save. But Wizzy still fighting for the second place. Has to avoid crashing this time. That looks good for Wild again, but I gotta go low. Here we are, we takes Wizzy because he went low. A very nice time. And this was a good round, finally. Worst time is a low 107. That's nice. So only victory for Wild due to areas a really nice end. Alright, Tescat also showing something on Limbo finally. Alright, pretty fast start for Stoofs yet again. And he is hard carrying this. Let's see the checkpoint time here. That is insane. He is on a 105, and he did drive one of those yesterday. Can he do it again? Wizzy is completely out. Oh dear, what a crash that was. Once again, 1v2, but we know he can do it. Looks good. Survives. Just needs second here. That would also be good enough for him. Still Stoofs, not slowing down at all. He can go for the high jump just about. Area not taking any risks, which I think was wrong in this case. Because even with a respawn, he still would have beaten Wizzy, so should have definitely tried to go low. But Stoofs again, very strong time. He's been playing really well. Look at the stats, 64% of ones. It's very impressive. Oh, he's really risking the starts. That's why usually he is a bit ahead. This time it doesn't work because he clipped, but I think he can catch up half a second. If there's anyone in this match who can, it's definitely him. Well, now it's 0.9 almost. The area with a little stumble. Stoofs will welcome that with open arms. The area is out, has to respawn. Huge for Wild. Because at the very least they will get a draw from this. It's looking good. Jaja cannot afford a mistake, and there he goes. It's really slow. He got stuck, and that should be it for Wild here. 9-2 will have to be too big of a gap for Tescat to overcome. They can both go fully safe if they want to, but I doubt they will. Oh, they're just going high. Looks good for both. So as I said, in the end, it's actually Stoofs who wins the round. It's not that big of a deal if you have a slightly slower start, as long as you don't respawn. And two, just one more point needed. And what did I say? Every single time. If they're on 7+ points, he always crashes. Always. It's pretty much guaranteed. You can bet your house on it. Like, he plays so well up until that point and then completely falls apart. Now, on Ascension, it's Jaja and Area who allowed him to win the round because they drove too slow. Let's see on this one. Or can just Stoofs rely on Wizzy to get them over the line? And so far it's still good for Tescat, but they've really been struggling with the turnaround here. Again, I feel like Stoofs got it the best. But Wizzy is in first or second, that's good enough. Area needs to overtake him. Looks good. Let's see what Area is doing. Wizzy just needs to survive. He goes high, Area goes low. Who's gonna get it? And Wizzy drops down from the sky. And that's gonna be enough. Victory. When they needed him the most, he did step up. Because Stoofs on 9 points equals mud. So 2-1 Wild. Completely overturning the deficit. And they gotta win one more. And has to be either this one or Sunburn. Now this should be interesting. I think Tescat will also be happy that their worst maps are behind them. Here we go. Wild looking to take Tescat out of the tournament. They gotta win one more map. Decent start by everyone, no mistakes whatsoever. Oh, and area is out. Gets the nose slide. The skids were fully overlapped. There was no saving that. And this is very good for Wild. We only have one opponent now. Bad line there for Jaja as well. And he needs to overtake Stoofs here. Oh, very risky by Stoofs. Doesn't pay off in the slightest. Now going onto the drift. Wizzy is so far ahead. All of them get it. So Wizzy can at this point start safing, but Stoofs can't afford to push for second because even with a respawn, still very likely to stay in third at least. But he keeps on losing more and more. So I think they will have to settle for only a victory. That's a PB by Wizzy, and look at the time. Wizzy is back. That is an insane time. Like, he's likely to beat anyone with a .17 here. Very impressive, but let's see if he can keep it up. Slow start to the match for Wizzy, but he seems to be coming back. And if he can keep up that level, then Wild have a very good chance of doing something today. But now he's struggling. Very low speed, and he keeps losing more and more over that entire section. Can he catch up here? Oh, very risky there, but avoids the pole. Different approaches here completely, and Stoofs once again loses. Then gains it all back into the drift. Stoofs somehow makes that. It's actually Wizzy who gets it the worst yet again. He's just gonna lose more. That is a terrible ball back exit. Jaja versus Stoofs for first. Area kind of safe in third. But it's super close, but Stoofs should have it in the bag. Much slower round this one, but Wild to keep their 1 point lead. And the teams seem to be very equal on Reunion. Let's see, in round 3, that's an early mistake by Area. But he's not completely out of it. Around 0.4 behind. Now a little bit more. Gets the drift at least. And this is looking very good for Wild. Oh, Wizzy then clips and throws it all away. That is a terrible place to crash. So now it's Stoofs all alone in first. Has a massive lead. Just needs to make sure he doesn't flip over and gets the drift. So far so good. He gets the drift. Keeps the gear. That should be good enough for him, but the blue duo is catching up just a little bit to make sure it's not too easy for him. Nice line there by Area. Stoofs crashes, and out of nowhere it's an ace for Tascad. And look at this, it's a very slow time. Stoofs just had to save, but just couldn't do it. And from a strong start to the round, Wild actually end up dropping the ace. And now Stoofs with another mistake. So it's all up to Wizzy. Getting aced again would be devastating here. Oh, that's a bad line for Wizzy. But at least he doesn't crash there. Stoofs with a respawn, he is completely out of this one. Wizzy has to deny here. They have no other choice, but then Wizzy crashes. Again, horrible place to crash, because he had no speed for the uphill. He is trying though, but he's almost a second behind. His best bet is to hope that these two don't get drifts. However, that's not gonna happen. And Wizzy is gonna lose again. After coming a little bit closer though. Let's see if they can just manage their way to the finish line. Looks good. Can they not pull a Stoofs? Dropping the gear is perfectly fine. Doesn't lose that much. And that's the second ace in a row for Taskat. 8-3 now, great position to be in. All they gotta do is wait for mistakes from Wild. There has been an abundance of it so far. Will we see 2-2 here? Let's stay on board with Area, who's the only one to make an early mistake so far. Nice Wizzy dropping back a little bit. But then Jaja with a mistake. Has to take a different line, has to respawn even. Area crashes. Perfect for Wild. They have to get the ace now. They could not have asked for an easier round. Area is really far behind. The only thing they gotta do now is make sure they don't get a no drift. Because the gap is massive. And that's the only thing that can really go wrong if you're 0.8 ahead. What is Wizzy doing there? I mean, that should never happen. And out of nowhere, he is in a battle for second. But then Stoops also with a mistake, and Area is fully backed. It's actually Wizzy in first, Area in second. Both Wild players doing their best to throw this. And Stoops needs to get second here. I don't know how at this point, but he needs to. And that's not gonna be enough. So Area gets second with a 108.75. I mean, Wild are just falling apart right now.
Victory.
One more point needed for Taskat. Any mistake by a Wild player means it's over now. Can they get the ace? Oh, Stoops risking way too much. He didn't need to be in the wall there. I mean, it's not a massive mistake. Nowhere near as big as Area's there. So Wild can still do something here. It's only Jaja who they gotta fight off because Area has completely died, but Stoops again with a mistake. And this could be it. If Jaja can just avoid mistakes. Because the gap he has is pretty big. It's over 0.6. He gets the drift. That looks good. He keeps the gear. Not the greatest drift of all time, but more than good enough for this situation. Because Stoops has messed up. And this is it. He can't afford to drop the gear here. That is perfectly fine. Just don't fall off the map. That's good. He does drop the gear. Because he wanted to make sure it's fully safe. And he gets it. Tasket equal the score. So many mistakes on this map, it's crazy.
Victory.
It was those two back-to-back aces that really buried Wild. And now we're going to the decider. Expected much more from Wild in World Tour. Same, yeah, I would never expect them to lose to a team like Taskat. They have some good results. I think they got top 4 last time. They did well in the Spams tournament. The results are just very random. Now let's see how they can handle Sunburn. I know Wizzy likes to crash into the checkpoint later. That's a huge mistake by Jaja. Terrible respawn. He's gonna be complete out of this. It's 7.5 seconds. Oh, an Area messed up. But can Wizzy just avoid this checkpoint here? Yes, he can. Stiff's done slowing down. All 3 make it. Still a very good position for Wild to be in. Oh, nice jump by Area. Needs to get second here. Goes for the normal rotation and it pays off because Stoops has made a little mistake. It's gonna be impossible to get second from this point unless Area misses the finish. Oh, and that's a huge mistake. Stuffs goes safe, and that was very smart. Completely pays off for him. It's an ace for Wild. I mean, Area made the right decision. He just didn't execute properly. And once again, another ace on Sunburn. The map where aces are very common. So let's see if Tasker can strike back. Oh, Jaja out again. And he's fully out of the round. Pretty much the same thing, and he is completely self-destructing on this map. It's even 10 seconds now. Meanwhile, they're getting this handed to them on a silver platter. Hugely in our area. Stuffs with a little mistake, but 5-1 would still be a very big lead. Wizzy with a crash, that's a strange one. Once again, the gaps are pretty big. Area almost able to go safe. Now Stuffs with another mistake, but Jaja is over 20 seconds behind, so Area should go safe here. Just make sure he gets that 1 point. He doesn't. And luckily for him, doesn't get punished. Sunburn, as expected, a complete mess. And Jaja needs to step up, otherwise they're gonna lose this. So far he's thrown away both rounds immediately. Now that looks like a very good start. Can he avoid crashing here? That's good. That's also good. This is the furthest he's made it so far. But once again, it's the Wild duo with a much better start. And what is that ice exit? He just can't deal with the start here. But at least he's only around the second behind. Even less. And he's out. Third round in a row. He is completely dead by the halfway point. And Wild should really not lose it from this point. Great chance to go 7-1 up, but even a victory is pretty good here. Puts them only 4 points away. Kind of same speed for Wizzy and Area. All of them gotta go for the jump. Can they all get it? This is really important. Different approaches for the jump, and it's Area who gets the slowdown. And that's 7-1 Wild. And it looks like they will get it done, because Jaja cannot even complete the first half of the map. You fell asleep in your chair. Looks like the players are not playing well enough. Let's blame them. Who was that? It's Jaja, just a little bit behind. Can he survive? It's Area this time with a mistake. So maybe it's actually Sunburn, their worst map. Because this looks terrible, honestly. What is that exit? They just can't do anything here. I mean, the gap is massive. It could be all over now. Unless Area somehow gains 0.6. While it just look okay on Sunburn, I think it's Tescat making them look better than they really are here. Because they haven't really had to do anything. Pretty much every round is given to them. As Area has caught up a little bit. Nobody really able to go safe. Let's see if all of them can survive. Wizzy does it, Stuff does it, and that's it. That's a win for Wild. In the end, deserved. Very close match. But Wild will go through, and Tescat are out of the tournament. Let's quickly see the PBs. So online PB is much better for Boca. I guess there's a reason why they picked this. And they're already so far ahead. just after a couple of turns, look at this. It's already a 0.2 advantage. Even more now. It's like they've been shot out of a cannon. Great start by both blue players. Skandir is pretty much out of the round already. And it's only Wazil who can do something. And we know that Dawn are the team that likes to drift there. It's a very risky strategy that doesn't gain much. But there goes Otak, and he is dead. So all of a sudden, it's all on Binks. Has to make sure he doesn't slide out. Skandir, just nice and easy. It's looking good for Binks. Needs the exit though. That is terrible for Wazil, but Otak is so far behind that it doesn't matter. And Binks, a very nice round. Drives a PB even. As I said,
Draw.
the times here are gonna be much better. And that is a very strong start. The indoor skid is so ugly. I agree. As is the Albania skin, to be honest. But then Binks, from hero to zero. Really mistake there, and he is almost 1 second behind. But can maybe catch Skandir just on pace. He's having some issues in the start himself. There's the mistake. Binks already in third. Trying to catch up to Wazil. Again, different approach. He's the one not drifting, and look at this. Wazil has made a mistake. Binks definitely able to catch up, and Wazil is out. And so far, it's been a very poor start for Dawn. Oka not really having to do anything in order to get the ace, but then Binks struggling a little bit. Where's Skandir? Skandir just lacking pace so far. What is that? Trying to discover a new line. I mean, that's never gonna work. I don't know what the hell he's trying to do there. This round much slower, but good enough for Boca to get the first ace of the match. The French one is really nice. Yeah. Looks very good. Ace for Boca. Good start on their map pick. And let's check out what Skandir is doing, because his starts have not been up to par so far. Completely different approach. That's very slow. And that's Wazil already who's crashed. Binks also having some issues, but at least he is still in the mix. Oh, Binks makes it. Skandir is lagging, so it looked like he crashed, but it's Otak who's also crashed. No, he is in last. Oh, and then stumbles upon landing. It's actually Binks who's in first. And Dawn finally making it through there with no mistakes. Trying to catch up to Binks, but he's just so fast. There's a mistake by Wazil. Can Otak maybe overtake? Has a better angle for the ice slide. He is catching up. Skandir is getting flown around. Somehow Otak also with a really bad exit, and so far this match has been an absolute fiesta. Otak actually gets sniped.
Draw.
I remember him struggling there in the previous regionals. Regional 2 specifically. He was doing really well and then always messed up that ice exit. Luckily for him, Binks is first all the time. So far, so many mistakes, but you gotta keep in mind, this is the first match of the day for both of these teams. So maybe they're not fully warmed up yet. And so far, this is the cleanest round. Nobody far behind. And we know that most of the mistakes happen later anyway. And there goes Skandir with the first one. He is not having a good match so far. Binks barely stays on. Now Wazil has to catch up. 8-2 would be a massive gap. But instead he drops the gear. Will drop even further behind. Let's see if Otak can handle this exit. That looks much better than usual. There should be the ace for Boca here. Good jump for both. That's an amazing round, actually. How do you play against that? 1 was 6, 5, and 6. Incredible round. Probably the best team round we've seen on this map so far. Both of them finally driving a clean round together. Going A2 up. And Dawn are very close to losing their first map of the match. Otak there saves it. Just barely. And then Wazil with a mistake. 3 of the 4 players with really poor starts, and it's only Skandir who's left alive, and he's the one who's been having the most trouble so far. Oh, Banks clips, doesn't really get punished for it. He's still on the hunt, and one of these two need to overtake Skandir if they wanna finish it off right now. Otak is the closest. Much better line than Skandir. Binks also catches up. It's all gonna be decided on the ice part. It looks good for Otak. Can definitely overtake here. But then he jumps. So even Binks and Skandir both overtake. And it will be good enough for Skandir to force another round.
Draw.
But he might just be delaying the inevitable. Again, Otak, so many issues there. He actually had a really good turn, but then jumped. Threw it all away, and there goes Skandir. After his first good round, he is already in the mud, and this should be easy for Boca. There's even a respawn by Skandir. Just gotta survive the wood turn, that looks good. Wazil also has made a mistake, and this one is over. Boca will take a 1-0 lead. Fully deserved, and they've been much better on map 1. Just gotta make sure they don't do anything stupid here. Don't respawn. I swear his wheel went through the wall there. That's not the best ice slide, but it's gonna be good enough. What is Otak doing? I mean, luckily for him, Binks got the job done with an insane time yet again. Otak cannot make it. So far, very mixed performance by Otak. Binks has been playing really well. Can they just carry over the momentum onto the second map? Now this was picked by Dawn, and this is a map that Boca usually pick. That's why I'm very intrigued as to why they picked it. Man, look at his warm-up. What a start this would have been. Oh, Wazil already struggling just a little bit. No crashes though. And Otak then clips. Start nowhere near as good as warm-up. Then it's Wazil with a mistake, but Otak has lost even more. So we have 2 players still with a clean round. Nice box slides by both, but then Skandir messes up the angle completely, allowing Binks to pull away. And he is on a really good time. So now Binks can already start safing, and Dawn just gotta make sure they stay ahead of Otak. It's looking good, still half a second of a lead. Otak keeps making more and more mistakes. Into the box slide. Definitely better for Skandir, but just not good enough to fully catch up. And Wazil has made a mistake, and now maybe Otak has a chance actually. It's gonna be good enough. Otak versus Wazil. It's actually Otak with a mistake. Nice time by Binks.
Draw.
That's it for you, but at least you won one map. We'll try to get better results for second stage. For sure. You two are a decent team. It's just unfortunate to keep losing to Blah. But you were close to making the playoffs, so definitely have a chance for stage 2. As once again was Zil with a slow start, and this time it's Otak in first. It's not looking like don't have an advantage on this map. Oh, he is completely out. Scandir 1v2. Can he get it done? Really fast pace now. And Scandir just keeps losing. Because Very White has to release not to clip the hole. Already over 0.3, and I just don't think this was a good map pick. Bok are incredibly strong here, especially Binks. Otak clips there, allows a Scandir to catch up. The aerial box slide by Otak will allow Scandir into second, but Binks once again on a really good time. Can Otak do anything in the end? Doesn't look like it. Binks again 110, very nice. But Otak kind of drops the ball.
Victory.
Yeah, of course, it's your fault. You gotta step up. Can't blame anyone else. But they're a beatable team. Sure, you can do it if you prepare better for stage 2. Oh, Scandir early mistake. It's up to Wazil this time to defend. This feels like it's inevitable for Boca to ace here. Now both will pull away. Again, really good round by Boca, but Otak just needs to make sure he drives a clean round. You can see that they're faster. But it's been Otak's mistakes so far which have prevented them from pulling away further. And again! Otak with another mistake allows Wazil into second. Scandir is still really far behind. Otak, not the best box slide. Wazil will keep his second place. Binks looking to win the third round in a row. And he stays like that again. Otak just not able to get second. One mistake per round, and it's always enough to allow one Dawn player to get second. If Otak can just drive a clean round, it's gonna be an ace for Boca. But then the question is, can Binks keep it up? Can he keep winning every single round? Looks like a good start. It's Scandir again who's a bit behind. Trying to catch up, but it's not really working. Again, Wazil drops down. And it's the same situation as every round. And now Scandir clips the pole. This is the biggest lead they've had at this point. As usual, Binks is first. Can Otak just avoid crashing? That is the only question here. That looks good. He jumps a bit, but he has almost a second. Good enough box slide. This should be it. Nice turn there. Can Binks win all rounds on this map? There he goes, 110-5. Insane round. Binks, the absolute MVP of the match. So far, the best performance I've seen of any player in this entire regional. It's completely dominating, insanely fast times. And if he can keep this up, then Boca have a really good chance to win this. As I say that he crashes, but I think he has the right to make one mistake. Oh, big mistake there by Wazil, but Big still too far behind. So now it's Otak's turn to defend. And Wazil is kind of far behind, so we can just keep it together, because Scandir has also made a mistake. This should be easy for a former world champion. Binks also keeps dropping, so I guess we will get another round here. Huge gaps in this round. Very nice box slide there by Skander. Could have gone much worse. Binks with a respawn, but he was last anyway, so that changes nothing. Let's see if Ota can get across the finish line. That looks good. But yes, he will. One of his better rounds so far, and there will be 9-4. So don't need 2 aces. Waka need anything else to happen.
Draw.
Just 1 point away from getting the second map win. But it's Binks again. He's somehow still ahead of Wazil though. And at this point, Otak has a massive lead over Wazil, and he knows he just has to beat one red player. Doesn't have to care about the other one. And so far, so good, but then Binks is out. That is a terrible mistake, and Otak has also slowed down a little bit. Binks with a respawn, he is guaranteed out of this one. So it's just up to Otak to beat Wazil here. Doesn't want to make this more interesting than it needs to be. I mean, Binks played so well and then last 2 rounds completely died. That's a mistake by Otak. There is no way Dawn are coming back. Oh, and then complete stumble there by Skandir. It's like he got stuck in the mud. Couldn't move, and Otak very lucky to be in second still. What a massive round this was. And Otak will get the 10th point. 2-0 for Boca. Not the smoothest ride in the end. And we will go on to Sunburn. A map we don't see that much of. Let's see. This was Don's second pick. I really think anyone can win this. It's such a random map. Like, you can be really good here 1 week and then fall apart next week. We know that water is a bit weird in this game. Damn, this time it's done with an amazing warm-up. Sure, they would be very happy if that happens in the actual round. And immediately it's Skandir. Has to readjust a little bit, loses some time there. But he's still in it, and there goes Wazil. Their first big mistake. And the actual round is nothing like the warm-up. What is happening to Binks? Some internet issues, I guess, and that's a pretty big crash. Makes it to the reactor just barely. Could have gone much worse there. Skander kind of kills his angle, will have less exit speed than Otak. So the players are pretty far spread out. Again, at this point, we're mostly looking for survival. What happened to Otak there? I guess he just got stuck. As I said, all he had to do was survive, and he cannot do it. Makes an additional mistake. And now Skandir and Wazil should have this in the bag. Wazil makes it. That's 3-0 Dawn. Once again, another ace on Sunburn. Feels like it always starts with an ace here. Actually, it's a what? Skandir failed? I missed it. I feel like they're not as consistent as the first regional. No, they were by far the best prepared team for the first regional. And since then, it's just been getting worse and worse for them. Yo, Spike, thank you for the raid. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a nice and fun stream. So welcome Raiders. We're just watching some of World Tour action, where Boca are one map away from going to the winners final. Hey Fisken and Mika-Pekka. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream as well. As Otak and Binks have a pretty nice lead here. I mean, they really got away with one there, and now Skandir again with a mistake. I mean, I thought they had the ace in that round. And they're not gonna get an easier opportunity. And Wazil is trying, but he cannot catch up. Otak made a mess here before, but survives this time. They cannot go safe, but the lead is pretty big. Just gotta survive, and they make it. And Dawn immediately get punished. They did an ace in round 1. And now they're 4-2 down. Huge chance for Boca to close it in 3 maps. And you have to say they've been the much better team so far. Get a faster start. Wazil struggling, goes way too wide. Will continue losing. Skandir crashes as well. It's all falling apart for Boca here. For Dawn, I mean. Boca are doing a great job. Super clean round yet again from them. Then as I say that, it's Binks. Gets stuck there on the edge. So it's up to Otak to prevent the ace for Dawn. But you never know what can happen later. Someone can still miss the finish. Notice Otak isn't going under the checkpoint anymore. He used to do that in the previous regional. Nice turnaround by both. Both make the jumps here as well. Super important for Otak to make this. And he will. Ozil has to respawn. Where's Binks? Binks makes it in 3rd. Another victory here for Boca. Can't they have a nice stream? Alright, Spike. Have a nice day. (6-3) now. But then Binks just falls off in the start, and that is a huge time loss because he has no speed whatsoever. Once again up to Otak to deny here, and feels like Binks has been much worse on Sunburn than the previous 2. Just can't really get it going. It is a great turnaround there by Skandir. Very nice and low. Binks with an additional respawn. He is definitely out of this one. Will rely on his teammate to get first, but Otak is just so far ahead. Very similar to the first round, but can Otak now avoid respawning? Struggling a little bit on ice. That's a nice flip there. Skandir has come closer, but just not close enough though. Otak so far so good. He is losing a little bit more. Can he make the jump? And that is good. Otak again in 1st. Denying another ace. Just 3 more points. I mean, if Binks just stops crashing, then they could get it over and done with in this round. This is a much better start. There he goes. Brilliant turn there as well for both. Skandir already super far behind. It's up to Wazil to deny this. But it feels like they've never really been in the match anyway. Mistake there by Binks, but still goes lower than Wazil, who will have more speed though. Still very good for Boca. And there's the bonk for Wazil. And Skandir as well. And now both Boca players can go safe if they want to. They just gotta survive. As long as they don't respawn, they should have this in the bag. Binks goes high, but it doesn't matter. Just has to survive. That looks good. Slightly scary there. These lines are not good, but... oh, he has to go safe anyway because he made a mess of that. Otak actually with an online PB Binks gets second through the safe finish, and that is a well-deserved victory for Boca. I mean, they've been the far better team throughout. This should be Wild versus Swifty. It's 1-1 actually. On Sunburn yet again, and this should be good enough for Swifty as Bozbez is in first. Let's see what Mouse Guy can do in the end. And the mouse is mousing as he gets the 10th point. 2-1 Swifty then. I would imagine that Swift have already won. Let me just check. Swift play against Blonde, yeah. As expected, probably a 3-0. Swift just smashing everyone in the loser bracket. Ooh, and it's Ellipse. Wild looked terrible here. Especially Wizzy. Huge chance for Swifty. Let's see Wizzy's stats. Still not good, but better than before. And Stoof says the opposite. Let's check Swifty players. Balls has 22 both. Ratchet also not that good. So seems like Stoof has been the best player of the match yet again. Nice start for Ratchet this time. Looks good for Wild so far, but then this is usually the place where Wizzy starts to lose it. Looks good this time. All four still very close to each other. This can definitely go either way. Bozbez slowly but surely catching up to the rest. Well, now Ratchet loses so much just due to less exit speed from the reactor. Stoof's in first once again, but his teammate is in last. Oh, that's a really bad box slide there by Wizzy. And even Stoof's got it pretty bad, so all of a sudden, Wild are in danger. Can Stoof stay in second? Better line for Bozbez, but it's probably not going to be enough. Swifty take the first victory here.
Victory.
Just 8 more points to make it through into top 6. It's Bozbez again who's last after the start. But we saw him catch up later on in the previous round, so I'm sure he can do the same now. That is a terrible line. He's actually gonna lose a lot with that. Then gets the drift. It's all falling apart for him. Chance for Wild maybe to get something done here. Strange drift there by Wizzy. Kills his line completely. Had even to go outside pole. He'll still be far ahead of Bozbez, but highly unlikely that he can overtake Ratchet now. Bad exit as well. He just keeps losing more and more. Oh, but then Stoops with a massive mistake, but should be able to stay ahead of Bozbez anyway. Bad line here. As Bozbez to catch up even more. Now Ratchet should easily take first here. And Wild gotta be happy with the draw if they can get it. Looks good for both. Strong time by Ratchet.
Draw.
Keeping that 1 point gap. On to the next round, and as usual, it's Bozbez. I guess it's kind of difficult to execute that bug slide with the mouse. I don't know what else the problem could be. But he's always a little bit behind in the start. And again, messes up this, goes way too wide, has to take a bit of a different approach. Really doesn't help his cause here. Still in last, but his teammate is in first once again. If Bossbez can just get second here, Swifty might run away with it. He's overtaken one, but Stufts comes back. Wizzy still in second though. Bossbez gets the least amount of speed out of the plastic reactor section, but this block slide will decide everything as usual. Let's see who can get it the best. Pretty good for Bossbez. Goes up to second just for a moment, but then Stufts tracks back. And it's all gonna be in this ending. Stufts versus Bossbez. This is really important. Stufts trying his best, but Bossbez is just ahead. That is huge for Swifty. 6-2 now. And more importantly, it's Ratchet who looks like the best player here by far. So now they're 4 points down. And how did they even beat Ratchet? And they're not even playing that bad, especially compared to the previous matches on the lips. But Ratchet is just much stronger than anything they've faced so far on this map. So even though Bossbez is struggling with the first half every single round, Ratchet's pace is helping Swifty out a lot. Now it's Wizzy in last. Ratchet once again a really good start. And he is in a position where he can even win this on his own. It's a 4-point lead. Slightly different approach there. Doesn't really pay off. But it's still looking very good for Swifty. As long as they don't get aced, they're fine. Into the box slide. Bossbez has to go very wide as to not clip the inside. His teammate once again in first. This could be A3. Nice turn by Bossbez. Ratchet in first yet again. And he's simply too fast for Wild.
Victory.
There's no way they can win if they cannot outpace Ratchet. Now only 2 points away. They just gotta make sure they don't give away an ace. It's the only way Wild can come back from this. And this time finally Bossbez with a really good start. Look at the precision. It's Wizzy this time who is last. Struggling to keep up with the pack. And Swifty could win this right here, right now. Ratchet is first yet again. And Wizzy is falling behind further and further, and now he crashes. And this could be the end. Look at this, they're actually driving together. This is insane pace, by the way. Stufts isn't even on a bad run, and now it's over. He's not even respawning, he knows. He knows that it's over. Because Wizzy was behind. And look at the respawns. Insane performance by Ratchet on the lips. He's won every single round so far. And when a player does something like this, how does his team even lose? Let's see the time by Bossbez. 1:10.88. Online PB for him. And Swifty will win. And play against possibly the loser of this match. Lion Coast versus Big. So Big 2-1 up, but it's only map 4, so maybe there's been a lot of overtime. Oh, big mistake by Aurel. Lion Coast are proving to be very tough opponents. And Tona is really fighting here. He played really well on Ascension yesterday too. Seems to be his favorite map. That's a good angle for Tona. And we'll be able to overtake Granati. But Massa will stay in first. Solid round. Big now 3 points ahead.
Victory.
Still a very good situation to be in. Let's see the stats. And looking at the stats, it feels like Big have been dominating, but the overall score doesn't show that. Oh, nice start by Big. It's Aurel in the mud yet again, so it's on Tona. When Big can get it done here and win the entire match. That looks good. Oh, but then Massa crashes. Has to respawn even. And the best I can hope for now is a draw. If Granati can stay in first. Again, the gaps are pretty big. There's no fights here. Nobody can really do anything unless another player makes a mistake. There's nothing that can be done on pace. That's really poor for Tona, but he's so far out of Massa that it doesn't matter. Sick time by Granati. Aurel in third. Lion Coast need an ace. And Big are still very comfortable with this. Especially if Aurel keeps messing up the start. This time he doesn't crash, but he is already 0.2 behind. Has to do something here. It's a pretty good wood section. He's catching up a little bit, but then the dirt was too bumpy. Massa is super far ahead. It's looking really good for Big. But as I say, the Massa crashes, so once again it's on Granati to make sure they get at least a point from this. A victory for Lion Coast would force sudden death round. The first one of them has to get first. Looking good for Granati. Aurel is trying, but he gets airtime. He needs to make sure he doesn't get overtaken by Massa, and that's exactly what happens. He tried too hard there, and Big will win it. He should have just taken the draw. So whatever happens here, I think both of these will actually improve on their worst result. They've definitely both done worse than top 6. So let's see what happens here. It's Tona with a slower start. Swifty right now looking really good. All of them are getting the drift. But Ratchet seems to be pulling away further and further. And Tona just can't get it going. But then Bossbez with a huge mistake. Allows Tona into third. Ratchet still in first though, but getting attacked by Aurel. Huge risk by Ratchet, doesn't pay off at all. He just loses more towards Aurel. And now he's closer to Tona than he is to Aurel. Into the drift, Tona barely saves it. But Ratchet with more speed than Aurel. Back into first. Still looking good for Ratchet. He needs the first place here. Aurel, a little mistake. That should be enough for Ratchet. But Ratchet clips and allows Tona into second. And from first to third, Lion Coast will take the first ace. Devastating mistake there by Ratchet. Damn, he needs to fight back immediately. What a nice start there by Tona. Rel going a bit wider, making sure he doesn't get the no slide. And that works out beautifully. But he is still a bit behind. Now this time Bossbez survives and it's looking good for Swifty. He gotta get the counter race before the situation is fully out of their hands. And Tona is completely out. So it's only Aurel who can defend the 3-point lead. Gets a pretty good drift and Bossbez crashes. This is huge for Lion Coast. Looks good for Aurel. He has a very nice lead. There is no way he's gonna catch up to Ratchet anyway, so he just needs to stay in second. Just gotta make sure he doesn't crash anywhere. That is good enough. So Lion Coast still a 2-point lead. pretty good for them. They're now in a position where they really need just one more ace. If you get 2 aces on a map, you're sitting very pretty. Again, it's Tona with a monster start. Looks good. Bozbez struggling a little bit, but Aurel not going close to the wall enough. So we'll also lose together with Bozbez. Tona still in first. Gains even more now. Such a strong start to the match by him. Trying to fight off Ratchet, but look at the speed from Aurel. From last all the way to first. Super close round. Now it's Ratchet in the lead. It's a Bozbez in last. Anything can happen here still. Into the drift. This will most likely decide it. Everyone survives. And look at this. It's so close. Within 0.1. Anyone's round still. Tona is out. So once again up to Aurel to deny. Has a better angle than Bozbez and will definitely catch up. This all in this last part. Aurel is trying, but Bozbez has a better line. That will be the ace for Swifty. Really close round all the way until the end. And so far seems to be a very even match. Tona once again, very solid start. But this time it's everyone within the same car. Oh, but then makes a mistake. And again leaves it all up to Aurel, who's also a bit behind. Swifty looking to get the second ace in a row. That would be huge. Especially with Tona making so many mistakes. Aurel is over 0.2 behind, needs to somehow overcome that. I mean, he is trying, but it's not really happening. Maybe in the drift here. Gets it slightly better than the red duo, but it's not enough. And then Bozbez stumbles. This should be enough for Aurel. Kind of messes up the angle, so it's completely equal between him and Bozbez. This is super important. Aurel will keep the gear. Bozbez is too far behind. Couldn't stay in second. Swifty with a 2-point lead. Need one more ace to win map 1. Still looking very good for Swifty. Mostly because the Ratchet has been playing incredibly well yet again. Look at his start. All of them equal, and then Bozbez with a mistake. But Ratchet can prevent disaster here. They did not want to get aced here, and Tona is out. That's a much bigger mistake than Bozbez's mistake. So once again, it's all on Aurel. I think he would be very happy with a draw in this situation. Ratchet is risking. It is paying off. He's fully caught up now. Was a bit further back. We'll have more speed, but then Bozbez with a mistake and a respawn. Gives a Tona a chance, and now he's even further back. But Ratchet is getting the job done. So far, an amazing performance. Overtakes Aurel yet again. Aurel trying to strike back. Ratchet with a better line. Should be able to get to the finish quicker. And Tona now kind of lucky to be in third. With a plus 7 seconds. So only a draw, but definitely goes more in the favor of Swifty.
Draw.
Just a victory needed now. And if Tona keeps crashing like this, it's only a matter of time. And he's now losing more. I mean, he gets a pretty good setup, but he's not really catching. And that is bad. He's not gonna get punished over the course of this entire stretch. Aurel also kind of flapping about. And this is looking very good for Swifty. We gotta keep in mind, this was Lionco's pick. So if Swifty can get a win here, that's gonna be huge for them. They both make it. More speed for Tona, but the gap is just so big. And they only need one in first, one in third. Iron Coast have caught up just a little bit, but it's just not enough. Now they've caught up even more, but this should still be enough for Swifty, who even get the ace. Super close round in the end. But enough for Swifty to take the win. 11-6. On to their first map pick, which is Sunburn. This is quite a weird pick. There's a lot of teams that do not like to play this map. So it could be huge for Swifty. Let's see if they can win their second map. So far, Ratchet definitely MVP. Oh, kind of close there. Makes it work. But then it's Boss Bez with a little mistake. Can still come back from this. With a very nice ice slide. That looks good. Ratchet still in first. All players are within half a second. Anything can happen on Sunburn. Then weird line by Boss Bez, and somehow it works. Doesn't work for Ratchet though. Will be tied to last. So Rel with a pretty commanding lead here. Boss Bez slow drift allows Tona to go up to second. Into the 360. Very nice by Boss Bez. Will stay in second. Rel has even increased his lead. But Tona is fighting back with a better bob section. Huge chance for Lion Coast. And they will get the first ace. So once again, an ace on Sunburn. So far, map picks are really not working out for either team. So Boss Bez with a different start approach. He didn't drift at all. Just chose to release and worked out beautifully because he is in first. It's actually Tona who's in last, but just a tiny bit. Still very open, and yet another mistake by Ratchet. It's not the end of the world. He can definitely come back from this. Especially with a very quick section here. That looks very good. And Swifty on their way to tie things up. It's only Tona right now who is preventing that from happening. Great jump by Ratchet. Onto the ice slide. That's kind of high, but Lion Coast get it even worse. Rel is out of this. Oh, Ratchet gets a slowdown on landing. That's very unfortunate there. So Tona is able to deny.
Victory.
Very unfortunate there. Sometimes it happens, and it's more down to the blocks being weird than the players actually making a mistake. So far, very competitive on Sunburn. If Ratchet can just clean up that midsection, I think Swifty will have a really good chance. It's right here where he usually crashes. This time it's Boss Bez. But somehow manages to make it to the reactor. Oh, just clipped the checkpoint a little bit. Ratchet is in first. And now the gaps are pretty big everywhere. How does anyone catch up? I mean, Tona is trying, and he has caught up around point 2 already. Goes for the normal turnaround. And really backfires. Rel is struggling. Rel makes it just barely. Candle make the jump. Ratchet going in first. Makes it. Tona second. Rel third. Everyone makes it.
Draw.
Still a 2-point lead for Lion Coast. And Swifty just not able to get an elusive ace. It's a very nice start by Ratchet. Pixel perfect almost. So it's Aurel in last. All of them get a pretty good ice slide and it's still super close. Can go either way. Will the water decide it? Oh, Ratchet with a mistake. That one should never happen. So it's down to Boss Bez to make sure Swifty don't get aced again. And Ratchet's just nowhere near as good as on Reunion. And Lion Coast just not really doing anything special. They're fully profiting off of Swifty mistakes. Just driving nice and easy, waiting for a red player to stumble or respawn. Now if Bossbez misses the finish, Swifty will be in the mud, but Bossbez gets it done. Tona has to go safe because he clipped. Ratchet also makes it. So another draw. It's like these two teams are very evenly matched. Let's see, it's once again Ratchet with the best angles, but then crashes. Doesn't take advantage of his great position at all. At least Aurel quite far ahead already. Then loses it all in the little NASCAR section. Still a super close on. Ratchet just barely avoids the clipping the edge once again, and look at this, how close all the players are to each other. Ratchet, what a turn that is. So it's Aurel in last. Bossbez catching up to Tona. Maybe another chance for Swifty to get the ace. That looks good. All in this turnaround. Both Lion Coast players going normally, and it just doesn't pay off at all. They've lost so much by not doing the 360. Tona is flying too high. Oh, Ratchet slowing down, has to go safe here. And will throw it all away. Gets last even. That was the chance to get the ace. But he had no other choice, because had to slow down not to fall off. So he was kind of forced to go safe. Oh, double mistake by Lion Coast in the start. Another chance for Swifty. Feels like they're close to acing every round, but something somehow always goes wrong. Maybe this is the round. They have a massive lead. It's .64 right now. Nobody jumps out. That looks good. Aurel is not catching up. Tona is completely out of the picture. There's just no way Aurel can catch up on pace. Just whether these two will make a mistake. Bossbez can go safe if he wants to. Ratchet is on the edge. If he goes safe, he needs to do it well. Decides not to. And it seems to be the good decision. Finally, the ace for Swifty. And for the first time, they're in the lead on Sunburn. Ace. 8-7, both teams able to get the checkpoint. Can go either way. It's been so close so far. Again, a great start by everyone. Great ice slide. It's only Ratchet who's pulled away a little bit. Good jumps. Nobody has jumped out yet. It's Tona who clipped the edge a little bit. And now Lion Coast are in real trouble. Because Ratchet is far ahead. And they cannot afford a loss. Someone needs to win this round from Lion Coast for them to stay in it. Aurel has switched up his strategy, and that is much better. However, it's Bozbaz who also got it pretty good. And Aurel in second is just not enough for him. It's even down to third momentarily. He needs to hope Ratchet makes a mistake here, which it won't happen, but Bozbaz makes a mistake, but he has 8 seconds, recognizes the situation, and will go safe, and that will be enough for Swifty. Slightly lucky there for Swifty that Tona had to respawn before.
Victory.
But good work by Bozbaz, who immediately realized that he either has to go safe, or maybe he clipped actually. In that case, he would have to go safe. But with Tona being so far behind, going safe was definitely the correct option. 2-0 Swifty. And this is Swifty's second pick. First pick worked out, although it was very close. Let's see if the second pick will also work out. So far it's been a close match, but Swifty just a tiny bit better. And I remember Aurel having some issues in the start. This time it's Ratchet. So 4-star for Swifty, and it's actually Aurel with the best start. And we know that Tona is really strong on Ascension. So maybe this is a great chance for Lion Coast to kick things off with an ace. Let's see if Tona can overtake Bozbaz here. Looks like he's just losing a bit. That is still fine though. We know that most rounds here get decided later, and that's a mistake by Bozbaz. Not the biggest one. He can definitely come back with a strong ice section. Looks good. Super close, 5 per second. Onto the ice part. Different approaches. Tona should have a better exit here, but then he crashes. So Bozbaz manages to get second, and that's so important here. The main thing always in this World Tour format is to not get aced. So I'm sure Bozbaz will be thrilled with second. It's a good start for Lion Coast still. Good start for Aurel, who has made a few mistakes in the start here before. This time it's Tona who is not looking as good. Has not won a single round this match so far. And is once again in last. It is a brilliant section though, fully catches up to everyone else. But then might have jumped too far. Look at the speed though. Overtakes Bozbaz. Ratchet is so far ahead already. Bozbaz with a better drift than Aurel. Trying to overtake both blue players. That looks very good. Nice angle. Goes up to second. Aurel has dropped down quite far, so it's up to Tona here to deny. Needs to get a better exit than before. Bozbaz has killed his angle completely. So Tona will be able to get second, and that is a counter victory right now. Nice time by Ratchet.
Victory.
Swifty 7 points away from top 4. Lion Coast really need to wake up. They want to stay in the match. I think it's Tona in last. Yeah, once again, he's just not playing as well as before on Ascension. Oh, had to release quite a lot though, but he is still alive. And once again, it's Ratchet in first. Has created a little gap for himself. And Tona again going for the same jump, which gives him more speed than Bozbaz. But it's all kind of equal in the end. However, following the NASCAR section, Bozbaz then gets a no drift. It's a very strange place to get a no drift. Has to respawn and has to rely on Ratchet to get first. To keep the score equal. See, Aurel is trying, but that's a bad exit. Should be easy for Ratchet to win the round. And yet again, another 0.7. So far, so good for Ratchet. Following an early mistake in round 1. Has been doing really well. And he has won half of the rounds in the entire match. A really good performance so far. And now once again it's the red duo in the lead following the start. And Lion Coast need to push here. Great turn by Aurel. Will catch up to Boss Bass, but as usual it's Ratchet in the lead. And nobody can outpace him, but there's the mistake by Boss Bass, has to respawn. So once again, the pressure is on Ratchet to win another round. And this is super close. Both blue players trying to attack him. Overtake first. Aurel kind of overcooks the turn. Will chop down. So as usual, Ratchet is pulling away. Tona with a slide out. He will stay in third though. And Ratchet on his way to win another round. That looks good. Get 106.6. Lion Coast just cannot deal with that pace.
Draw.
And it's only a matter of time till Boss Bass stops crashing. Can Ratchet keep it up long enough though? That's a mistake by Tona. That is pretty brutal already. It's up to Aurel now. Let's see, onto the wood turn. That looks so good for Swifty. Ratchet once again dominating, but Boss Bass needs to survive. Good jump by Aurel. He is in the mix. Tona is out of this one. It's all on Aurel now. Boss Bass survives. Can he make it through here? Gets the drift this time. But Aurel has way more speed. Better angle here for Boss Bass. But Aurel has even overtaken Ratchet. And again, different approaches. Who can get it the best? It's better for Boss Bass than Aurel, but I think the gap might be too big for Boss Bass to overcome. Yes, Aurel will just barely stay in second. Super important second place. And I feel like Ratchet has won 4 or 5 rounds in a row now.
Victory.
Single-handedly keeping Lion Coast at bay. The win percentage is up to 55. Absolutely crazy. And Swifty are on match point. There's 1 ace away from going to top 4. That's a mistake by Tona yet again. Tona just nowhere near his usual ascension level. And it's simply too much on Aurel. He cannot get it done on his own. Especially when he has to face a player like Ratchet, who seems almost unbeatable here. Good jump there by Aurel. Needs to stay at least in second. If he stays second, then he's gonna force sudden death. Looks good. Slightly more speed than Boss Bass. Tona with a respawn pretty much confirming his last place. And a much better turn for Aurel compared to Ratchet, who has finally stumbled. Can Boss Bass now maybe win the round? Nope, Aurel, great job there. Just needs to make the jump here, and will do so. His best round. Swift is still with a 1-point lead. And if Tona just wakes up, then Lion Coast also have a chance. I mean, they are on track point. My Swifty with a great opportunity. Given that Ratchet has won most rounds and Tona is struggling a lot, there's a very good chance they get first and third here. Great start by Ratchet, pixel perfect almost. And it's Tona and Aurel both at the back. How did they come back from this? Great turn by Tona. Completely catches up, and all 4 players still very close to each other. Ratchet once again in first. Oh, Bossbez again with the same mistake as before. And it feels like Ratchet might win this on his own, the entire map. But Bossbez has made so many mistakes. And right now, 2v1. Ratchet's still fighting them off both. It's all in this ice section. Nobody slides out. Looks good for everyone. Can Ratchet avoid jumping? Yes, he can. Just one more jump. He gets it. And he will barely stay in first. Great round by the top 3. So far, absolutely outrageous performance by Ratchet. He is winning this on his own. He just has to do it one more time. Just one more round that he has to win. Can he do it? Made one mistake at the start and after that completely dominant. Aurel also won one round, but there have been so many draws. I feel like he's won like 6 rounds by now. And he is in first yet again. That looks good. Lion Coast need a victory here, so someone has to step up and be the hero and win the round. Good jumps. And it's Ratchet actually who's falling behind a little bit. It's great news for Lion Coast. So Aurel needs first here, Tona needs third. The Bossbez now is so far ahead. But then he messes up the uphill. Oh, and then Ratchet with a mistake, Aurel with a mistake. After all of that, Swifty are in a victory formation. That is really bad by Ratchet though. Aurel should be able to overtake, but he's made a mistake of his own. Bossbez is in first. As long as he gets it, there will be enough for Swifty. And finally, a good round for Bossbez.
Victory.
Feels like we just watched Wild. Picked by Swift, who are definitely the favorites on Limbo. That's a nice start by Epos. Even does the little water bounce to the left there to get it smoother. Completely pays off. Strong start by both Swift players. Look at this. And Swifty are already almost 0.2 behind, despite doing nothing wrong, really. Swift showing exactly why they picked the Limbo first, and Bossbez is out. It's up to Ratchet to try to save something from this round. But both Epos and Nuprime are so fast, and Ratchet stumbles, and it's a terrible place to crash. Well, Nuprime just barely stays on. Epos is on a monster time yet again. So this should be enough for the first ace by Epos and Nuprime. Very clean round by both. Oh, decide to go high. And already a 105. Epos immediately showing what Swifty will have to beat if they want to get something out of Limbo. I'm not sure they'll be able to do it. Oh, no Prime. Clips just a little bit, but he's fine. If there's any map where you can catch up this much, definitely Limbo. And they already have a 3-point gap, so this is not a disaster. Slightly slower around this one. So far, no massive mistakes, just Nuprime, who is already catching up bit by bit. Now coming up to the most important part. Who can get the most speed out of this? Definitely not Bossbez. Epos falls off. So it's Ratchet alone in first, Nuprime all the way to second now, from fourth. Seems like it should be a victory for Swifty. The players are really spread apart. Any mistakes in the end? No, they're all jumping high. That should be good enough. Bossbez also makes it. And Epos, after a really good first round, makes a mess of the second one. Takes a moment maybe to compose himself. So victory for Swifty. It's not over yet. different approach in the start. Had to kind of save it there. Because he didn't really get the angle he wanted. And No Prime with another early mistake. Maybe this isn't going to be as smooth as they hoped it would be. This is a pretty good round yet again. It's Ratchet in first. Epos is catching up very quickly. No Prime not that far behind though. He can definitely catch up in the turnaround if he does it well. Ratchet dropping. That's a really good turnaround for Boss Bez. From third to first, but then stumbles on the landing. And Epos overtakes. I mean, Swifty also look pretty strong here, and there's a mistake by Epos. And look at this. Could this be the ace for Swifty? Both going low. Both will make it. And Swifty are actually in the lead. Following that mistake by Epos. In the first round, they looked terrible, but it actually turned the score around already. That's gonna be a slow start for Boss Bez. Got a bit too much airtime. Finally, No Prime with a clean start. Gives a great chance to Swift to take the lead back. And again, it's Epos alone in the lead and then a little gap compared to everyone else. Oh, Boss Bez kind of messed up the drift there. Could have definitely done it better. But we know which part is going to decide it all. Here we go. Ratchet with a great water bounce. And Epos again struggling there. Not only did he lose his first place, he went all the way down to last. It's No Prime in first. Epos trying to get at least third to equal the score. Jumps out too wide maybe. Tries to go low. Has to release there. It doesn't work. And it's actually Ratchet with a 105. His online PB beats No Prime by 5 thousandths, and Swifty have a 2-point lead now. Yeah, amazing round there. Swifty showing just how good they are. Epos again trying with the little water bounce. Works out this time. But so far he's been struggling with the turnaround. He's usually first until there, and then Epos, what a mistake now, early one. Will lose quite a lot. It's all on No Prime now. Could this be the ace for Swifty? Epos not really able to catch up. Still a pretty big gap towards Ratchet and Boss Bez. And here we go. Can he do it right this time? Yes, he can. It's No Prime actually who makes a mistake. So while Epos has caught up a little bit, his teammate is fully in the mud. And now he's caught one. I mean, he needs to at least finish second, but then they're still gonna have to ace the next round. Epos is trying. Boss Bez gets it better. And Ratchet, that's enough for third. Swifty with a great opportunity. Swift need an ace.
Victory.
Huge lead. I mean, who would have thought Swifty would be 9-6 up after getting aced round 1? And now Swift cannot afford a mistake. That's a great start by No Prime. Swifty just need one player in the top 2. Solid start everyone actually. Really close. And we know where this is most likely gonna get decided. Oh, Epos is now falling back a bit. But gets a good drift. Back to second. And now Ratchet with a respawn. That is huge for Swift. Oh, but then No Prime has to respawn and it might be over. No, No Prime is out. Boss Bez just needs to finish. Huge mistake by No Prime. And Boss Bez should be aware of this. Oh, Epos. Left, right, left into the wall. And Boss Bez will make it. Swifty take a 1-0 lead. Who would have thought? Damn.
Victory.
And this was Swift's pick, let's not forget. I want the sunburn. And it would be crazy if Swifty won this. I think it would be Big and Baka who would be the happiest about it. And so far, Swift's worst result was 4th. So if they lose here, they're just gonna equal it. Let's see if Swifty can do better than in the previous match. I know they won, but it wasn't convincing whatsoever. And the Swift are a different animal compared to Lion Coast. It's already a poor start. And Ratchet will keep getting punished all the way to here. A 0.6 is a lot though when you're playing against a team like Swift. Now needs to make sure he doesn't make any additional mistake. But this looks very good for Swift. It's just boss base they gotta beat now. Well, Epos there with a stumble will allow even Ratchet to pass him. And all of a sudden, it's looking like a victory for Swifty. Gets the turn around, but it doesn't really help his situation much. And No Prime has to make sure he doesn't fail this. Oh, he's losing speed at a rapid pace. Ratchet overtakes. Bossbuzz makes it. Ratchet also makes it. And Bossbuzz with a PB. And that's 3-0 for Swifty. It's all falling apart for Swift now. Swifty absolutely smashing. Oh, Bossbuzz there. Right after a PBing. With a very slow start, but this is still fine. As we saw, Ratchet was even 0.8 behind in the previous round and made it all the way to 2nd. So Bossbuzz is still fine. That is a good turnaround. It's only 0.37. An additional mistake though. Everyone makes it yet again. And this is where it started to go bad for Swift. This time Epos takes it very wide. But that doesn't allow him to overtake Ratchet still. That's too high for No Prime, but everyone else gets it much worse. And look at this, all of a sudden Ratchet fully in the mud. And Swift very close to acing back, but then Epos with a huge mistake. Ratchet with a mistake. Where's Bossbuzz? Bossbuzz actually gets 2nd and saves the day. Out of nowhere, Bossbuzz takes advantage of Epos failing. Absolute mess there in the end. And so far, Epos nowhere near his level in the 2nd and 3rd regional. Definitely showing some weaknesses. Now it's No Prime in last. Has to step it up. Gotta get out of the hole they've dug for themselves. Is equal with Bossbuzz now. It's a better jump. So far, nobody has jumped out. That's crazy to me. Everyone survives yet again. And it's Ratchet with a pretty commanding lead. Let's see if a Bossbuzz can make his way into 2nd somehow. It's a really poor jump there by No Prime. So it's only Epos between Bossbuzz and 2nd, but then Bossbuzz with a really poor turnaround there. Allows a No Prime to pass him, and now we are in a draw formation. Can they all survive? It's Ratchet with the same mistake he made before, and Epos barely makes it into the finish. Devastating blow there. Gets stuck on the edge there. Crashes into the wall. Allows the Swift to take the lead on Sunburn for the first time. So far, very crashy. Let's see the next round. Much better start for Swift. And poor angle for Ratchet, and it's all falling apart for him. It all started so well on Sunburn, but since then, he's made 3 mistakes in a row. And that's it. That should be another ace for Swift. They've got a massive lead, over 1.5 seconds. They can go safe if they want to. They can save everything, both the spin and the finish. They decide not to. That's actually a really nice maneuver. Epos with a safe bob. And he will go safe. No Prime will make it. Smart by Epos. He's not having the best match, so just has to make sure he doesn't throw away easy wins. And 8-4 is now a huge lead. Good start. Very precise. Again, it's only Bossbuzz with a different approach where he doesn't slide at all. Allows him to at least stay ahead of No Prime so far. But then No Prime with a better angle overtakes. And this is looking really good for Swift. They just need a victory here to take their first map win. Different approaches. All of them survive except Bossbuzz. So this is huge for Swift. They should be able to get a draw at the very least out of this, putting them on 9 points at least. And this should be enough. No Prime struggling. I think he just needs to make sure he gets third here. And both make the same mistake. So it's Ratchet with a really nice lead. But even if he wins, it's still a much stronger position for Swift. Epos doesn't respawn, decides to go backwards. I mean, that's gonna be enough. Because the mistake wasn't big enough and Bossbuzz has made the exact same one. So 9-5 Swift. Great position to be in because Swifty have to ace here. Otherwise it's over. A very interesting match so far. Equal start, everyone. And Epos is pulling away just a little bit. Any mistake here by a Swifty player could be the end for them. And they still gotta beat Epos either way. Again, different approaches. Everyone making it. And Epos still with a pretty big lead. Ratchet with a different approach. It fully pays off. Goes from 4th to 2nd. But he cannot catch Epos, who gets a pretty good spin. And even New Prime goes from last to 2nd. This should be enough for Swift. They just need one player to survive this. Looks good. Epos with the jump makes it. And what a time that is. That is the best online time we've seen in any regional. 105.7. Absolutely unreal. Nobody was beating that. Just crazy round by Epos. Wanted to make sure they don't throw that away. So first pick, definitely not paying off for Swifty. Let's see if their second pick is gonna go down better. And I think they're in trouble here as well. Because Epos drove a 106.3 yesterday. And he's usually very consistent here. Good start by Blue. It's Bossbuzz who's a bit behind. Oh, but then New Prime crashes. And that's a pretty big one. Almost a second behind, struggling with the gear as well. Gets a slowdown and is fully out. It's up to Epos to prevent the ace by Swifty, as the no prime will not be a factor in this round whatsoever. Was probably too far behind to do anything. Crashes even, so maybe Ratchet can push here. Try to force a mistake out of Epos. So close there to the wall, makes it, but loses a bit more. Onto the ice slide. Looking better for Epos, that's for sure. And he will close it out. Very strong first round. 106.5. And how are Swifty gonna deal with that?
Draw.
And Ratchet is starting to chat. That's never a good sign. Means the focus is dropping a bit. When you're more focused on chatting after each round than beating your opponent, kind of destined to lose. He does get a good start though. No prime, completely different approach. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Just a bit strange. At least he survives this time, and there Ratchet goes. That's what happens when you're focused on chatting instead of driving. No, great chance for Swift. It's up to Boss Best to deny. And we saw in the previous match, it was a Ratchet who was carrying hard on this map, and Boss Best was struggling a lot. So no, he has to be the hero and somehow deny. He is catching up to No Prime though. Needs a good ice section. It was a strange exit. It will lose even more to No Prime, who avoids jumping. Epos again very far ahead, and that will be enough for an ace. Another 0.5 by Epos. So far, simply unbeatable. And Swift are looking very, very strong here. Can anyone take down Epos? Slightly different approaches, and Epos once again far ahead in first. Snoop Prime with a mistake. And again messes up the gear, which will completely throw him off, because then he's gonna have very different speed compared to what he's used to. I forgot I was in... Okay, we're in the mud. I forgot I was queued. I've been queued for 6 hours. I don't know how to not join a match. Yeah, that's my bad. We're gonna have to play a matchmaking match, because I forgot I was queued. I can't believe this actually happened. Oh, let's see. Oh, No Prime already struggling. Has to respawn. Massa also with a smaller mistake. It's a pretty rough start for both sides. But Big have a much better situation on their hands. Worst case scenario, they get a draw out of this. Best case scenario is that Epos messes up the turnaround, which has happened quite a few times so far. Right now, there's nothing really that can happen here. The players are way too trained to fail there. And here we go, it's actually Granati who struggles. And Epos creates an even bigger gap for himself. Looks like he is mad after losing this map in the previous match, because this looks really good. And Granati is far ahead of No Prime. Do not have to worry about third place. There goes Epos, 106.1 with the high jump. That is really good.
Draw.
So only a draw after that early mistake by No Prime. But Epos looked pretty good there. Let's go. Second round. Much better start for Swift. And Granati has to readjust not to crash. He's only falling further and further back. Needs to stay somewhat close to pounce on any mistakes later on. The pace of the round is insane so far. This could be a triple 105. Looks very good for Swift so far. Onto the turnaround. And everyone makes it actually. No changes at all. Massa still trying to make his way into the second place. And he makes it into the ball block. There he goes. Second now. New Prime will have to risk. Granati is out. Definitely gonna finish fourth. Both go low and Massa so close to overtaking. I think he actually had it before he clipped the edge. And Granati cannot even finish. Insane round.
Victory.
Pretty sure these are the two best teams on Limbo actually. Despite the fact that Swift lost it in the previous match, they're so good here. These two on Limbo is always cinema. Let's see who is gonna get the first ace. Oh, no, Prime is out completely, has to respawn. Made the same mistake he made in the warm-up. But Epos is still in first. Can Big beat Epos here? So far, he's won both rounds. But Epos is in really good form indeed. He's probably been the best player in the World Tour this year. It's a better turnaround though for Granati. But Epos then with a slightly better line and Granati's out. Has to double respawn. Massa also has to do respawn. And all of a sudden, New Prime is actually in second. Out of nowhere, Big completely throwed around. Epos makes it. And New Prime gets second. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy that they got an ace out of that. That's huge for Swift because it's so difficult to beat Epos here. And now they need a round where they both beat him. Devastating mistakes there for the big duo. And a huge chance for Swift. Massa again with a poor start. Needs to hope Granati can do something. And that's a mistake by Epos. So this might be the chance for Big to pull it back to 6-5. It's looking good. Epos is really far behind. There's no way he can catch up on pace. But they gotta overtake New Prime right here. However, he's the one who actually gets the best turnaround. And will pull away. Big just unable to do anything right now. And New Prime makes it. Big are not coming any closer. Trying to go for the low jump, but New Prime still wins the round. Very nice time, considering he went for the high jump. And he is doing his job. When Epos fails, he is there to win the round. That is exactly what he needs to do. Massa trying to go for the fancy start. Works for him, but not for Granati. Who is around 0.2 behind. A little bit more now. And Swift are really close to winning the first map. How did Granati not get punished there? It's actually cheating there. No slowdown. He is still in the round. He can catch up with a perfect run from here. All in this turnaround. Here we go. And everyone gets it. It's Massa in first. But a draw doesn't really help his case, as Granati has to respawn, so this is pretty safe for Swift now. They can just chill and wait for a mistake from Massa, and that's exactly what's happened. Both have overtaken. Massa has to go safe. He had no speed. And that indeed is a swift victory on Limbo. Simply too many mistakes from the big side. That's a 1-0 lead. Very convincing as well. 10-3. And now we're going on to Swift's map picks. And if this is an indication of how it's gonna go, then Big are in trouble. No, that was a big pick. They got to pick first. Because they're coming from the winner bracket. This is their first loser bracket match. The thing is, Swift lost against Swifty on Limbo, so I presume that's why they picked it. So let's go. This is a huge map, and this is where EPOS probably dominates the most. And it's once again Massa with a slower start. He's not really making big mistakes to the point where he has to... Well, never mind. Was gonna say respawn, but he has made so many of those smaller ones. And that was just an accumulation of smaller ones, I guess. So once again, this could really be a Swift victory for Swift. I mean, Big don't look good at all. Swifty looked much better, to be honest. Massa is just crashing everywhere, but it's smaller mistakes. Granadi is respawning everywhere. And right now, Swift is trying to get the first... What is Granadi doing? Like, he is exiting the ice sideways. I mean, that's an amazing round by Swift. I think they're too good here. And the Big are indeed making big mistakes. And look at this, 33% crashes, 0% top 1. And Massa as well. A Big player has not won a round yet. That's the mad thing. And we're already on map 2. Just so far, they've been completely outclassed. That, however, is a great turn by Massa. Maybe this is the turning point. Oh, EPOS going for speed. And Massa with the mistake. And there it is. Exactly what I mentioned before. It's not a mistake that ends the round, but it's big enough for him to not be able to contend for first. So once again, it's all on Granadi. But he himself is 0.3 behind. This is gonna be very difficult to overcome because both red players get a good exit. They look so good on Ascension. This might be their best map this weekend. Yeah, incredible times. 6-0. Big are getting destroyed. Can they do anything in this round? It was EPOS actually, who has made a smaller mistake. But he is the fastest player here, and actually it's his teammate also in third. So Swift gotta step it up. This is a pretty good chance for Big. They have a 0.10 lead, however, No Prime is catching up to Granadi very quickly. EPOS not really, so this is mostly a new Prime. Needs to make sure he gets second here. Then bad uphill for Granadi, and there it is. There's the mistake by Massa. There's one every single round. And once again, gives away his first. Look at this. How has this turned into an ace for Swift? That's actually crazy. But they were an insane time. If No Prime Joe 106.7, I think Massa was over 0.3 ahead at one point. But it's actually 9-0. Will it be 12-0 here for Swift? EPOS with 62% of 0% crashes. Touch is there, but he doesn't get affected by mistakes. He's playing under different physics. So he is a first yet again. And Massa this time with a big mistake, and that's it. That's over 2-0. They just gotta make their way to the finish line. But I'm sure at this point they're looking to make it 12-0. Massa now with a respawn, Nuprime with a crash, so Granadi might be able to actually get that 1 point. Just for pride. Massa probably crying. Maybe he is. But either way, he only has one more chance. Because he's already 2-0 down. And Granadi will at least secure 1 point. Let's see the time by EPOS. 106.45. I think Big never had a chance here. Like, it didn't have to be this level of hammering, but they were always losing this. EPOS today on Ascension and yesterday just looks unbeatable. It didn't have to be. Nah, come on. They could have done a bit better. Well, Sunburn now. What can Big do here? I think everyone likes it more this way, to be fair. But I'm just saying, they kind of give away some cheap rounds there. Chance for Swift to end it swiftly. And then we're really gonna be done by 6. Oh, nice start by Granadi. But somehow EPOS and Nuprime is still quicker than that. And it's a must sign last. It says 33% crashes. I'm pretty sure he's crashed every single round. There's a crash, there's a respawn. And his crashes have fully evolved. From small crashes to complete respawns, and now it's all on Granadi yet again, who gets an insane turn there. That's the Will Precision. Into the drift. Goes really wide to make sure he can get the jump. Can Swift kick things off with an ace yet again? Great spin by Nuprime. Has slightly more speed than Granadi. Look at how close this is. Granadi with a higher jump. Needs to push. Needs to push, and he does. Can EPOS make it? EPOS fails. Just go safe. Great round. No, Massa seems to be fully in the mud. I think his mental needs some quick picking up. If he play like this, then they're just done. Granadi really saved the day there. He isn't last again. He's just not having a good match at all. Ooh, crash by EPOS. No speed over this entire section. Oh, barely gets through. Kinda lucky to survive that. No Prime. Just bounces away. And all of a sudden, Big have a great chance to ace here. They just gotta make it to the finish line. EPOS is 0.6 behind. He is going under. And that was absolutely terrible. And the thing is, Big are probably the worst team to put in this position. Because they always know what's happening, and They will go safe if they can. That's the thing. See, Grenade goes safe, Massa goes safe. There's a bunch of teams who would still blindly just jump and mess this up. But Big is the one team that will always do the right decision. So you do not want to put them in that position at all. So Big 4-2 up. Maybe the fortunes are changing a little bit. So far, Grenade best player on Sunburn, for sure. Of course that happens. Epos also. But the mistake is a lot smaller, so he's still in with a good shot of beating Massa here, who has crashed. Once again, Massa back to those smaller mistakes. And has a 0.4 to overcome. Looks good for all three, however, Massa isn't really catching up. Decides not to go under. And has caught up just a little bit. No, this is probably his best chance. He gets a really sick spin. It's New Prime who makes the mistake. That is huge. But Massa still needs to make the jump in the end. New Prime can go safe if he wants to. Now he has to go safe. And Massa makes it. Swift pull one back.
Victory.
And Big are not going down without a fight. 6 more points for Swift. And Big have no other choice but to win. Oh, huge mistake by New Prime there. Once again bouncing. And Grenade with a smaller touch. New Prime is full in the mud here. Pretty much needs someone else to respawn at this point. So the best Swift can hope for pretty much is a draw here. Unless one of the two blue players jumps. No, that looks good. All three make it yet again. Now it's Massa versus Epos for first. Great spot for Big to be in. And Epos simply cannot afford to fail. It's a good spin by Massa, but Epos got it even better. Still has to go for the jump. Has to survive this beam first. That looks good. Good jump as well. 105.93. When he needed a time like that the most, he pulls it off. Still losing by 1 point though. Can No Prime get in the top 2 together with Epos? An ace here would be massive. Looks very nice. Massa again with a little mistake. He is still in the round though. He can catch up but needs to step on it. Hasn't won a single round in the entire match, which is very unlike him. That's very slow. He has no speed at all. So this is all on Grenade now, who needs to get second at least. Gets more speed than New Prime. Better jump as well. Into the ice slide. Pixel perfect spin. So he will remain in second because all three actually got it really good. Can Epos make the jump? Grenade with a really good beam. But Epos makes it. Grenade in second. New Prime third. So the score is 7-7.
Victory.
Both teams able to win a map now. But both need an ace. Who can get it done? The pressure is mounting. Really nice start for Epos. It's Massa in last again. It's a bad exit, but New Prime had it bad as well, so they will both lose compared to Grenade and Epos. It's looking pretty good for Swift still, because Massa just keeps losing everywhere. Oh, that's a really good turn though. finally catches up a bit, but then makes the mistake. All of that good work for nothing. And we'll have to rely on Granati getting first here. Oh, New Prime has made a mess of that, but it just means he has to opt for the other strategy, and will still have more speed than Granati. Got so lucky there. And now if they both make it, it's over. Granati pushing, overtaking. Granati will save the day. Actually, insane performance by Granati here. He has saved so many rounds. But the thing is, usually in this situation, EPOS is really strong. And I'm not sure big players have the pace to beat him if he is on one of those 105s. I know they have those PBs, but I don't think I've seen them drive those times in rounds. So EPOS can win this if he gets first. However, this is a really good round so far, and what has happened to him? Very strange mistake there. Just lost speed out of nowhere, and just like that finds himself in last, 0.27 behind. No Prime is doing great. Boss makes it as well. This is such a close round. Anyone's games here still. Swift just need a draw. Big need a victory to equal the score. And EPOS is coming closer. Overtakes one. Goes for the spin. Decent. And now this could be an ace even. Granati is out. It's over. They can go safe. But do they want to? No, they don't. They want to end it in style. And that's an ace. And that's over. Swift win 3-0. Dominating win overall. And it's gonna be Swift versus Boca in the final yet again. The grand final of the 4th European Regional. Boca with Binks and Otak versus Swift with New Prime and EPOS. Who is gonna take it? Is it gonna be the 3rd win in a row for Swift? Or the 1st win for Boca? Who've been so close so many times so far. Let's quickly check the PBs online. Seems like Otak has the worst one, with EPOS with the best one. But that doesn't have to mean anything. Here we go. Oh, EPOS already with a mistake. We'll have to try to fight back, as his teammate has also dropped down over 0.1 already. Maybe this was a genius pick by Boca. But then New Prime strikes back. That was way too risky. He tried too hard there. As Binks has also made a mistake and somehow he's even further behind. And after all that, it's Otak in first, and EPOS has clawed his way back to second. Who's gonna get the better drift? Looks like EPOS got it slightly better, has more exit speed. Also has a better angle here. But then crashes, and it doesn't really mean anything because nobody else is even close to him. This should be an easy round to close out for Otak. EPOS then in second. And we have a sort of fight for third where New Prime is just too far ahead. So very crashy first round. And this is the last match before the global playoffs. So you definitely want to win this. You have your confidence at maximum going into them. But this is a much better start for EPOS. No Prime also with a better trajectory. Makes it through, but loses out on third to Otak. As EPOS is pulling away further and further. Oh, but then he flips over. Tries to risk way too much. Leaving Binks and Otak in first and second. And this is a great chance for them to get the ace. His new prime has to readjust, went too far left despite having more speed than Otak. That is really bad for new prime. So at this point, Boca with a golden opportunity to pull away with a 4-1 lead. It looks good for both. And that should be enough to get the ace. I mean, Binks drove a 0.3, so you can imagine what kind of time Epos was on. Maybe pushed it too much. So far, Epos kinda crashy, and we know he has the pace. He is pushing again. That's very good start. Look at the precision. Absolutely crazy. And it's new prime in last. Goes very wide on wood. Tries to at least get more speed through this press forward section. Manages to do so. But is still in last. Very good situation for Boca to be in. And Epos yet again, same thing. Flies away and things are just not going his way at all so far. This time he doesn't have to respawn, but mistake was so big that there's no way he can catch up unless Biggs and Otak allow him to. And No Prime just isn't making any progress towards at least getting second here. They both stay on. I think Biggs dropped the gear, but it's gonna be enough. And Boca 7-1 up. Very strong start. They're just not making mistakes. They're driving relatively fast, but most importantly, clean. That's been the big difference so far. Oh, what a risky start by New Prime, but makes it. Him and Epos have to wake up. So far, this has been an incredibly strong round. Again, New Prime always risking that section so much. Binks with a crash. And can Swift strike back immediately with an ace of their own? They definitely need to. New Prime with a big risk. Loses to Otak actually. Who went further back. Gets more speed into the drift. Gets it better than New Prime at least. So right now, very good for Boca. Gets a better angle compared to Epos as well. Otak trying to fight for first even. Somehow keeps the gear there. Who's gonna get it? It's gonna be Epos by 3,000s. Both of them with great times. And Boca will be very happy with a loss there. Now only 2 points away from winning map 1. So far, very good match. Binks was just a little bit behind. And there's the crash by Epos. And this could be the end for Swift on Reunion. Boca just need one player in first. Epos is too far behind to do anything. No Prime going wide. Comes back with so much speed. He needs to win this in order to buy himself at least one more round. Looks good for him. Again, Otak tries to set up wider. Makes a mistake, but should be enough to stay ahead of Epos at least. And New Prime will make it. So Swift get one more round, but they need 2 aces to turn this around. That's a crazy time. Well, here we go. So far, they haven't been able to ace a single time, and now they gotta do it twice in a row. Otherwise, it's over. And Otak with a really good start, and it's Epos again with a mistake. And another one. He's playing like Massa in the previous match. And this should be it. He's over a second behind. Boca should be able to save this. Both survive. The only thing that can get them from now to the finish is this drift. Both get the drift. Both survive the turn. And that should be it. They're still over a second ahead. And No Prime is trying really hard, but it doesn't really matter what he does. Drops the gear, and it actually will be another ace. Strong time by Binks as well. Very well played by Boca here. 12-4, dominant performance on Reunion. But we are going to Swift's best map. So far, they've absolutely demolished every other team on Ascension. So can Boca be the first ones to take Ascension away from them? I'm pretty sure, based on everything we've seen so far, Swift should take this one easily. And then after that, it's going to be really close. This is the only map I think that's going to be really one-sided out of all the ones that are left. But you never know. Binks and Ota gotta try their best still. And there it is, the first mistake. New Prime fully out, has to respawn. And Epos is only in third. Release there. Very nice slingshot onto dirt. What a start this is by Epos. But the Boca players are right behind him. It's not over yet. Nice turn by all three. Binks there. So close to both on the left and right. And finally then crashes. It was just way too risky. And Epos yet again in first on Ascension. He just looks unbeatable here. Otek even slides out once again, having so many troubles there with the ice exit. And Epos, there will be a 0.5 yet again.
Draw.
I mean, how do Boca beat this? Because he's driving times like that all the time. It's 0.6 at worst. Just never crashes here. And now New Prime makes it through the start. This is looking really good for Swift. But look at this, Banks is coming back. Everyone makes the jump. And it's actually Otek in first. Everyone's surviving yet again. Super close round. Binks with a different approach. Goes for exit speed. New Prime is out. Yet again. And Epos only in third. Epos also has to respawn. What is happening here? Just after I said that Epos never makes mistakes, of course he has to respawn. And all of a sudden, Boca are finally a team able to ace Swift on Ascension. And that's a solid round, but it's a round that could have easily got aced in.
Ace.
We know that Swift are capable of doing that. So this is far from over. Both Swift players can do 0.6 or better together. But No Prime needs to stop respawning, first of all. And here they go. Already a better start, both of them. Onto the wood part. Who can get the most speed? It's Otek who gets the least, that's for sure. It's really close again with only Epos with a little bit of a lead. Onto the jump, and once again it's super close. All the players are within 0.6. Oh, Banks there on the edge, but makes it. And No Prime this time goes a lot wider to make sure he gets the drift. And look at this. Epos then with a mistake for the second round in a row. So it's all on No Prime. Huge chance for Boca here. But No Prime holds strong and at least secures the 1 point. There he goes. Strong time yet again. And Epos was even further ahead.
Draw.
This is why Swift are still well in it. Because both of them are capable of doing those times. They are definitely the fastest team on Ascension. So Boca now mainly hoping for mistakes from the red duo. Because just on pace, it's going to be very hard for them to do anything here. No Prime there with a slower section. That's exactly what Boca need. And crashes even, messes up the gear shift. Will be able to make the jump, but he's so far behind. And Boca will be happy with draws here. Of course they want more, but as long as they can just draw it out and get over those 10 points that way, they're gonna be extremely happy. Now Epos trying to fight with Banks. Otak is there as well. Onto the ice slide. Who can get the best exit? Oh, Otak as usual gets a really poor one, but Banks is in first actually. And Banks will be able to stay first. Really nice time.
Draw.
But Otak actually found a way to finish last. That's a huge throw. They could have really used that 1 point. Like, once again, I think this is the third regional in a row where Otak is having a lot of issues with the ice exit. And he's just not fixing it. And now No Prime again with a mistake. I mean, how are they gonna come back if that keeps happening? Epos is out. Oh no. Now No Prime is the closer one. Huge chance now for Boca. They have a massive lead. And No Prime clips on the landing. So it's all about Otak just not failing the ice exit. I'm pretty sure Banks will do what he needs to. I have full faith in him not failing this. But that section for Otak has been his absolute nemesis this entire World Tour. And that looks good. Banks kind of struggling, but he makes it. And there it is, 9-3 for Boca. Swift just not looking like themselves at all on Ascension. So many mistakes everywhere. And Boca are so close to winning their first regional. Just need 1 point here. Swift need 2 aces just to tie the score. Epos already in first. But No Prime is in last. He cannot afford a mistake. There goes Banks. That's 1 down. Huge for Swift. Pretty big jump by No Prime. Will lose more compared to Otak. Banks not able to come any closer. So far, Otak is winning this for Boca. As a No Prime just cannot catch him. Nice section there by No Prime though. Onto ice. Here we go. Otak has to get it done. That is really bad for No Prime. And Otak actually gets it. Just needs to survive here. And Otak makes it. And that's gonna be enough for Boca. What a time that is. 106.36 his online PB. And I'm pretty sure that's the fastest time we've ever seen in an official match. Absolutely crazy. Jav his best when they needed him the most. And here we go on Limbo. Boca can win it all here. And this could be the quickest grand final ever. But usually what happens in the grand final is a comeback. So the fact that the Boca are 2-0 up doesn't mean anything yet. Swift can definitely win all through the remaining maps. But they gotta start here. Here we go. Boca are just 10 points away from winning their first regional. So Banks with a slightly slower start, but that's fine here. He can catch up. Still no bigger mistakes, and that's what matters. We know that the most important part is coming up later. It's a really fast round. Banks kind of lucky there. Avoids crashing on the pillar on the left as well. How he's still in this round, I have no idea. But he still has a chance. And here we go. New Prime has to respawn. Epos makes it at least. But New Prime is so far behind that Epos simply cannot afford the slightest mistake. There he goes. Looks good. Oltek with a big release, but good enough. Epos with a high jump. Oltek with a low jump. Both make it. And Epos 105.86 with a high jump. That is absolutely outrageous. So that would have been an unreal time. So 1-1 following that mistake. Can a New Prime step it up? So far more crashes than first places. Gets the slower start now, but no mistakes at least. With Banks in last. It's super close. Yet again, it's a really fast round. And Epos is really stepping up when Swift needed. But No Prime is losing again. Let's go onto the turnaround. All of them survive except New Prime yet again. Second mistake in a row. And Oltek is actually beating Epos now. So does Epos risk it here for first? Or does he just accept second? Banks with a little touch. He should go safe there. Oltek goes low. Epos with a high jump. And Oltek with an unreal time. 105.7. Oltek is actually peaking right now.
Victory.
Oltek is really showing why he's the world champion. That's just crazy pace. And it's not looking good for Swift. Boca's 7 points away now from winning. However, New Prime is in first. And there goes Oltek. Huge chance now for Swift. The last couple of rounds, it's Oltek who's been denying them, and now Banks crashes, and this has to be the ace for Swift, surely. They've got a massive lead. It's 0.6 now. They just gotta get this. And Epos fails, and that's a pretty big fail. Massive opportunity missed. He has to respawn there, but can New Prime now survive? I mean, he has to. There's not a choice. That looks good. And New Prime will win the round. Oltek with a respawn, but Epos is just so far behind that it doesn't matter. So Boca will keep their 1 point lead, and Epos is still stuck. Just using this to compose himself and go again.
Draw.
We know how good he can be here. And he needs to pull it off now. And so far there's been a big mistake by one red player, I mean, and now it's Oltek again with an early mistake. It actually costs a lot. But he prevents complete disaster though. And it's Epos also with a little mistake. Already dropping behind. Swift really having trouble acing here. A really nice space by No Prime though. But esports makes it. So far, still looking good for Swift. At least they would get to equal the score. Nice jump there. Onto the turnaround. Oh, and Binks doesn't make it, and this has to be it for Swift. Otek is way too far behind. Otek also with respawns. And it could not have gotten worse for Boca. Epos with a full crash. But the gap is just way too big. He can't even go full safe if he wants to. And he will. Complete capitulation there by Boca. And Swift will take a 2-point lead now. Both of them with massive respawns. And nobody's playing well on Limbo. That's how difficult this map is. New Prime now winning 2 rounds after respawning for 2 rounds. Epos with many crashes. Both Otek and Binks with so many crashes as well. So difficult to be fast here as Binks makes the first mistake of the next round. But we know that anything can happen here. Again, it's a really fast round. Swift are looking really strong now. They gotta get at least 1 map back. So far, so good. Can they both get it here? Oh, Epos gets it really well. New Prime a bit slower, but that's good enough. They already have a lead. A victory here is very nice for them. Binks with a double respawn. So what can Otek really do here? Epos still keeps first. Both going low. And Epos will make it. Really strong time as well. And now it's a 3-point lead. And now Boca are in dire need of an ace.
Victory.
Just the thing for Boca here is that they can't really ace because Swift always have one really fast player, even when the other one has to respawn. But there's always one driving at least a 106.0. And Binks has had a terrible start. Simply too many mistakes from his side. So Otek needs to win. He has no other option. Either win or we're going on to Ellipse. And nothing really changes. Feels like this part is completely useless. Because nobody's ever able to do anything. And now onto the turnaround. Otek gets it. Epos gets it as well. Still looking really good for Swift. Good jumps. And Otek needs to full risk this. I mean, he is trying, but Epos is too fast. Goes low Epos with the high jump. And still finishes just ahead of Otek. No, 5.7 with the high jump. It's just crazy. So we are going on to map 4. Swift are still in it. And both teams are very good here. But if you look at individual performance, it's been very even. There's no player who really stands out in a good way or a bad way. They've all had their moments. And now another map where Massa has the online world record. And we know all 4 of these are really fast here. So once again, attempt number 2 for Boca to win their first regional. They failed on Limbo, but can they get it done on Ellipse? Really strong start for the top 3. It's only Binks a little bit behind. But overtakes New Prime. Good exit. Super fast round again. Oltek able to overtake Epos. Binks is also coming back. Snow Prime, who's now losing quite a lot. So it will be up to Epos to deny the ace by Boca. And he is trying to fight off both of them. Look at how close this is. Epos all the way to first now. Amazing NASCAR section compared to the Boca duo, who've lost 0.2, both of them. And Binks is fully out. Otak, however, has made it onto first. So this could still be only a draw. Oh, great turn by Otak. And he will get it. Double 0.6 for the top two. Crazy pace.
Draw.
On to round two. It's been a really good grand final so far. And Epos is fully out, and No Prime has crashed. I mean, No Prime has to somehow get second here. Because Epos has no chance. And Boca will be aware of this. And they gotta take full advantage. And No Prime is catching Otak at least. Binks might be too far ahead. So we have a real fight here for second. And No Prime is pulling away bit by bit. Gap kind of stays the same there. Slightly different release points. And Otak trying. That's a really good angle though. We'll be able to fully catch up. No Prime, just a few more amounts of speed. All in this ending. This is huge if Otak can get second. Touches on the inside. I mean, he had to try. Great time by Binks, but Otak just not able to get second. That could be a very important denial later on. And once again, Boca just 7 points away.
Victory.
And Epos, again, using the full timer to compose himself. And last time he did it, it completely worked. When he clipped that edge on Limbo, after that, he played amazingly well. So let's see. Oh, it's Otak with a slower start, Epos with an interesting one, but it works. And it's Binks who loses. And it's a No Prime who looks the best right now. All of them getting the box slide. Look at how far No Prime is ahead. Binks with a crash. That's a terrible one. No Prime is on an unreal time. So now it's up to Otak to deny. A complete opposite of the previous round where it's 2v1 now for Swift. Looks good for them. Both able to overtake Otak. Got a little bit of airtime there. Goes for a better angle again. There will be a lot of exit speed, but both red players got it so good. So what does Otak do now? Can he catch up? He needs an unreal end. Epos going wide. Otak with almost a perfect end, but it's just not enough. And what a round. Double 0.6 by Swift. And this is why it was really important for Boca to ace in the round before. They weren't able to do it. And now they get fully punished. And they get a better start here as well. Swift are completely back in the match, but as I say that, it's Epos with a mistake. No Prime with a mistake as well. Can Boca now get the ace? I mean, No Prime is slightly lucky that every time he crashes, it's always in a plastic bit, so he's never fully out of the round. And this time even Epos is back. Still, however, it is Boca with a slight edge. 0.2 ahead. And in a match against opponents like this, you can't really ask for more. They gotta get it done now. And Binks is completely out. That is a terrible mistake. So now the best they can hope for is a draw. If Otak can get it done. Feels like No Prime is catching up just a little bit. Looks good. And Otak makes it. But unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough as Binks has crashed.
Draw.
They still need at least one ace, I think. It's gonna be very difficult otherwise. Just one ace to negate that ace by Swift. There goes Epos. Although that's a very small crash. There are 2 more crashes. This start has been really deadly. It's a new prime in last. Feels like Binks has dropped off a lot. Starting with Limbo. A low speed there for New Prime. Otak far ahead. Needs Binks in second though. New Prime is losing, so might be up to Epos here to deny. Binks versus Epos for second seems to be huge here. As a New Prime just keeps falling further and further back. See Epos trying. Gap is still kind of the same. They're both driving together. Different approaches here. Epos just not able to do anything. And this has to be the counter ace that Boca were looking for. Finally an opening where both Swift players are really slow. And they will both make it. That is it. 7-6 for Boca. The closest they've ever been to winning a regional. Just one ace away. Can they get back-to-back aces and win this? This has to be it for them. Good start. No mistakes anywhere. But look at Swift go. Swift are not done. What a start this is. But Boca just gotta stay in the round. Do not give them anything. And again, really fast round. Binks with the most inside lane he could. Will not have any speed, but at least keeps the gear later. This is still anyone's game. Feels like everything will go down to that bug slide. Oh no, Binks with a crash. Epos also very slow. Will allow Otak at least to pull away, so that we could have an equal score of 8-8 if he stays like this. But then New Prime with a pretty big mistake cannot even get the bug slide. So out of nowhere, Epos almost first even. Binks has actually overtaken New Prime. So this could be a victory for Boca, and that would force sudden death. Otak will not be able to stay ahead of Epos. And New Prime also beats Binks. So both Swift players winning their respective 1v1s. And it's 8-8. Either side just need a victory here to win. Any big mistake and it's over. Oh, and both blue players with really slow starts. Swift looking to get it done and force the decider. Oh, that's a big mistake there by Binks. He needs Otak in first now. That is huge for Swift. I mean, being 0.57 behind on Ellipse is a massive gap. So Otak has to do everything he can here to win. That's a good drift. And all three are so close to each other. Otak still trying. Passes one, passes the other one. As New Prime has now lost almost 0.15. All in this bug slide. Can they all get it? Looks very good for New Prime. He is fully catching up to Otak now, but Otak is still fighting him off. Otak is getting it done. Otak needs to stay in first. Great turn by Otak there. Makes it through, and Otak will win the round. And it's 9-9. And still either side just need a victory. Exactly the same situation, nothing changes. We're pretty much in overtime already. And can Binks step it up a little bit? Feels like he's crashed a few rounds now here on the lips. Avoids disaster there, and it's Otak who is in last. Still super close. Now it's Binks dropping down yet again. Swift looking very strong in this round. Otek so risky, and Epos is on an unreal time. Yeah, that looks good, but how does Otek beat Epos here? As Banks is once again 0.4 behind. He just cannot keep up. Now 0.27, New Prime losing a bit, but Otek just needs more. He needs to get first here. That is so risky, but it pays off for him because he does go from third to first, but then crashes, and that will be 2-2. I mean, he had to try, and Swift will pull it off. Absolutely unreal round. Double 0.5. I mean, Swift just refused to lose. That is unbelievable. On 9-9, they pull off a double 0.5. That's just insanely impressive. And this is gonna be the last map of the regional. Still all to play for. Boca have been so close so many times. First regional, third regional, now. They just keep getting denied. And now we're just a few rounds away. And on Sunburn, anything can happen. The pressure is at its highest. And the hands can get shaky here. Especially in the last beam and on the jump. So let's see. This is it. Swift trying to win their third regional in a row. Boca just want to get their first win. Super close start. It's so clean by everyone. No mistakes. Look at the focus here. Binks kind of saves it. Could have gone much worse there. But it's actually Otak who's in last. Makes the jump at least. Through the water, nobody jumps out. It's clean by everyone, but Swift are in a better position. It's up to Binks here to try to deny. Decides not to go under. It's Otak going under, and it actually works. But it's Binks who loses even more. And Swift had a pretty nice lead right now. Feels like the lead is only growing. They just gotta make the jump. Otak is out. It's up to Binks. But he is just too far behind. He is relying on mistakes, which won't happen. Amazing round. Double 106.0, and Swift are just peaking. Ever since they won map 3, they've just been completely different compared to the first two maps. So locked in, and as I say that New Prime is out. Gives away a cheap mistake early on, and now it's up to Epos to defend. And we know he can do it. There goes Epos with a little mistake. He can't come back from this. Made it is 0.43. A New Prime has just confirmed that he's completely out. And Binks with the jump, that is so unfortunate. It's the first time I've seen it happen this entire weekend. And he needed the ace this round. I mean, he's gonna get third, but there's a massive difference between acing and winning. Oh, I just hate to see it. And Epos now even goes up to first. Otak stumbling. Can Epos make it? Goes for the jump, makes it. And Binks has to be so frustrated with that. Hey, New Prime isn't even trying. He knows he has Epos on his team, so he doesn't have to worry. That's 4-1 Swift.
Draw.
Just 6 points away. There were 2 maps down. It looks so bad for them. Boca are not done yet. Again, a really nice start. Great angle for Binks, but Otak has crashed. And they just cannot afford this. They need the ace. Cannot afford any crashes whatsoever. And now Swift are one Binks mistake away from being so close to the win. All of them make it. Binks with very low speed, so Nuprime will be able to catch up, and Epos is pulling away. The victory here is great for Swift. Onto the spin. It looks good for everyone. Binks gets it the best, actually. That is so important. He needs to keep it at only -3. There he goes. More speed than Epos. And makes it into the finish.
Draw.
So 5-2. Boca still waiting for the ace. But Swift are just not making anywhere near as many mistakes as any other team on Sunburn. They're both driving low 106s together, which is crazy. And now this is a much better start for Otak. Needs to push this. Maybe a bit late with the acceleration there. Also goes a bit too high. Just keeps losing compared to Nuprime especially. Going for the no-slide approach. Works out for everyone. And this is a really good round yet again. Otak going under. That is an amazing one. Pixel perfect. Goes all the way up to first, but it was Binks who made the mistake. And will drop down, so Binks right now relying on mistakes by Swift players. There's no way he can catch up, and he even respawns. They just cannot complete a run together, that's the problem. Unlike Swift, and look at this. Once again, it's both Swift players with a really good time. They've already done double point 0, double point 1, double point 1. And so far it's only been Nuprime with that one big mistake where he kind of gave up. And Boca just haven't been able to do that. It's always one of them making a mistake. That's been the only difference so far. Pace-wise, they're clearly evenly matched. What a turn by Epos. Swift still with a 3-point lead. Looking to end things, Binks with a double crash. Makes it at least. I'm not sure if he has enough speed for this. Just barely, but he's lost so much. So now it's up to Otak, who get first again. It's the same thing, always one making that mistake. Otak going under. It works for him yet again. Epos is trying. A victory here is massive for Swift. Nuprime stumbling, and Epos has a massive lead now. That would be 8-4. And that means Boca would have to full risk from now on, and Epos gets it. 105.83. I mean, it was bound to happen at some point. He was always going to drive a 105.
Victory.
And Swift are 2 points away from being so close to losing. 2 points away from getting the maximum amount of points possible. Here we go. I mean, this is the round where Boca gotta complete it together. Nuprime, little mistake. He can come back from that. But Boca have a bigger problem. And his name is Epos. How do they both beat him? Maybe he jumps. He doesn't. The water is on his side. Was still in that top 2. Otak needs to somehow overcome a 0.3 deficit. Well, that's how you do it. He's come a little bit closer. And Otak gets stuck. And now it's up to Binks. Binks needs to win. If Binks doesn't win, it's over. But Nuprime with a respawn, so we will get another round. Binks gets stuck. Just has to continue. Otak makes it. Binks in third at least. 9-5. This is it. Epos actually drew a 105.7. This is unbelievable. And Boca did the ace. And after that, at least a victory. So I think the main player now is Epos. If he just drives one of his 105s, then Boca have no chance. And Otak is already a little bit behind. Binks is getting the job done. Otak needs a little more. Goes kind of high. Still anyone's round this one. Looks good. No one jumps out. No mistakes either. And Otak has a little bit more speed compared to Epos. Nupram with a weird mistake there. He will go under. Just kind of makes it, but I think he just lost more overall. It's still Epos who's denying Otak with a stumble, and it's all about Epos now. If he just finishes, it's over. It's just so close on the right. No slowdown. Has a 0.4 lead. Otak is in the mud. Epos with the jump, and Epos clears it. Binks with an unreal time. He got the job done, but it's not gonna be enough. And Swift win the 3rd regional in a row and get the maximum amount of points available. Insane.